All right, everybody. Sorry to keep everybody waiting. I had some issues I had to take care of, but we are here now. This is a broadcast of the Ebony Star Network, sponsored by the E Nation. Well. YT Gangsters, Sinetta, conscious community. Oh my. A lot to talk about on this edition of Gangster Talk. A lot of wanksters in the building. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of YouTube gangbangers. But the funniest of them all is that this house of scammers, aka the house of consciousness, and the biggest scammer of them all, Sinetta, seem to be going down in flames. It looks like his golden goose done laid an egg. Gangster talk up right now. Yeah. What's up, everybody? It's the infamous Gangster Talk. I am the Black Knight, the notorious gangster simp, a name given to me by my enemies, a name that I actually kind of like. You know what I'm saying? I'm also known as Maximum Black. All right. So the next time you ask me if I'm pro black, just, it's in my name. Okay, so shout out to everybody in the chat room showing up. Truth is, what's going on, my brother? I got the Dame on the ones and twos tonight, dropping that wankster. Hassan Burton. We're about to get it on hard and heavy in here. First of all, we're gonna talk about these YT gangsters, YTGs. For those who don't know what the YT stand for, it just simply stands for YouTube. YTG means YouTube gangster. All right, and we call gangbanging on here YouTube banging or U banging for short. Okay, or Y banging, whichever one that makes you comfortable. You know, Y banging, U banging, YouTube banging. It's all good. A lot of Y banging going on. First, before I get started, let me get that sound check. Type of one if you can hear me.
Can hear you fine.
All right, we're off and running. Well. You know, lately, I don't know what's going on with dudes on YouTube, especially black dudes. I don't see this happening anywhere else on YouTube. I don't know if black dudes have fully brought into this online fantasy world to the point where they've abandoned real life. And I honestly believe some brothers have abandoned real life. That YouTube is all they got. Now that's a sad state of affairs. I understand that, but it's real for some of these dudes. YouTube is all they got, man. They hang on YouTube 24/7. Frankly, I don't even understand how they pay an internet bill because many of them don't have any jobs. I don't know where they get the money from to pay for some Wi-Fi, let alone have time to be sitting somewhere on YouTube all day. Then you see people, I can be on YouTube all day. You know why? Because my work allows me to. I drive a truck across country. So I can work and be on YouTube at the same time. So while I'm talking to you, I'm making money. I'm talking to you right now. I'm done for the day. I just made my money. So cats think that they can be me or guys like me. No, you can't be us. We actually work. We make money while we're on YouTube. We're not just on YouTube talking and not doing anything, living in our mama's basement, you know, hanging out in the refrigerator, trying to find our way to fit into one of the big closets in the kitchen, you know, or the big cabinets in the kitchen, to try to be on Wi-Fi, trying to be quiet so you don't wake your mama up. So you cut the Wi-Fi off and shit, or put you on punishment. Some of you dudes are 40-some years old on here, right? Are 2 seconds away from being put on punishment. And I can tell by the way y'all talk that you live with your mama and you have such a little boy complex that you're not 2 or 3 seconds away from being put on punishment. 40-some years old, your mama gonna tell you can't go outside. 40-some years old, living in your mama's house, talking about cut off the TV. It's 9 o'clock, turn the TVs off. And dare you to say something about it, gonna take the TV out of your room. Now what? And then don't make her put filters on the family computer. Then what you gonna do? So I believe a lot of you right now on here talking all this big bad YouTube shit are 2 or 3 seconds away from being put on punishment by your mamas. A lot of tough guys on here. Now, you see, real tough guys, okay, are very quiet. Real tough guys don't even talk about being tough. They don't talk about fighting. They don't even talk about nothing violent. Okay, because real tough guys really don't want to get into no confrontation with nobody because they either don't want to kill somebody, they don't want to mess up what they have or lose what they have, right? So they try not to bring any attention to themselves. The last thing they're going to do is be on YouTube running their mouth. They're not into all of that. Real dudes don't get down like that. Only you fake little punk ass niggas who really don't have any life, and YouTube is where it's at for you. So you don't went all in. Y'all got YouTube gangs on this motherfucker. I mean, y'all literally starting YouTube gangs. I see YouTube gang, YouTube clicks floating around on the internet, threatening people in group, running down on people in groups. What you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Do a drive by on somebody's channel with all 26 letters of the alphabet? I mean, is it really that serious for y'all, man? Do y'all think that? You know what I heard some cats talking about? Yo, man, we about to run down and gun these dudes down on a channel? Yeah. You do know this is social media, right? You can't really gun nobody down. Yeah, we talking about gun them down with words, man. Oh, okay. So you gonna drive by or you gonna surf by? What you gonna? How you gonna get there? So you gonna surf over there via the internet? Cass is literally talking about, no man, we gonna run down all this space and run these niggas up out of here. We gonna go up on their panels. We taking over the whole panel and shit. Yo, nigga, yo, Bobby. Yo, what up, Crummy? Let's go run down on these niggas and shit. I heard Reg the bad guy's an easy target. Yeah, that's a little punk old ass nigga with 3 bald spots in his head. So what you gonna do, Crummy? Yo, I'm with you, Bobby. Let's go run down on these niggas. Zoom, boom. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, 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 C, 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 A, B, 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 B. Man, y'all shooting out in that motherfucker. Boy, y'all spitting letters all over the place. B, 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 C, 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 C. Damn, y'all shooting the place up, homie. What the fuck? Nigga come back down, right? Yeah, we got them niggas. Man, and they sit on the sideline. They always got their little hype dude. Man, y'all shot that nigga up, yo. Nigga, where you get that alphabet clip from, nigga? Yo, man, I just bought this shit, man, from the Board of Education. It was on sale because they couldn't use it to educate black kids no more. So they was giving them away, man. Word? Yeah, man. This shit shoot like 200 motherfucking letters a second. Yeah, I heard that shit, man. You was spitting. I don't know if you formed any words and shit, but you was spitting, nigga. Yeah, man. That's how we do, man. Don't fuck with us, man. Know what I'm saying? We YouTube riders, nigga. Nigga, we ride with the motherfucking top down. We ride on niggas up here on YouTube, nigga. You don't know? You better ask niggas about Bobby and Crummy. Damn. Bobby and Crummy running around spitting at niggas with the alphabet. They ain't even forming no words. Running down on niggas on the goddamn fucking panels and shit. Shooting the place up. Got alphabet guns that's stuttering like a motherfucker. Beep 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 beep. C C C C C A beep 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 beep. Alphabet guns stuttering like a motherfucker. Ain't forming no words. Making no sense. Just shooting the motherfucking place up. YouTube gangsters. And then don't get me started on the motherfucker talking about, I'll meet you at the airport. But damn, nigga, if you got enough gas to drive to, wait a minute. How far is the airport? About 70 miles. Well, how much is that in gas? Oh, about $40. Well, shit, well, how much is your child support payment? 25. Nigga, you can't make a $25 child support payment, but you're gonna spend $40 to drive to a motherfucking airport where ain't nobody gonna show up at? Just to do a lot of talking about, yo, I'm here, nigga. I'm here. I'm real on these YouTube streets. YTGs on YouTube, you banging, or Y banging, or YouTube banging, whichever one you prefer. Y'all let me know at the end of the day which one y'all comfortable with. Y banging, you banging, or YouTube banging. Niggas getting into motherfucking all out wars. Niggas is banging on the manosphere. Or the manoqueers. Manosphere feels some kind of way about it. Hell, they too scared to fight back. They're a bunch of sissies. So they went and got their blow up dolls and put them out in front. Now they mad because their blow up dolls got fucking shot up. And they ain't got no air in them anymore. Well, that's what you forget, man. See, that's what you get for being a coward. You don't want to protect your women, even if they are blow up dolls. See, if you was out there protecting them, they'd have air in them. She wouldn't let niggas like Bullets Gotti and Gotti's Bullets come by and spray the motherfucker face. Niggas got crazy ass names, yo, like fucking, like Hotep motherfucking double barrel the third. Hard than a motherfucker, man. Listen, nigga named Hotep double barrel the third. Now, what comes to your mind when you hear niggas say, yo, my name is Hotep double barrel the third? Can't you just picture the nigga with a hard ass gangster lean that's so fucking hard, you wondering why he just don't fall over? And he got his hat to the back, broke down in 3 places. And he got that stupid look on his face. Talking about some, yo, nigga, I'm down, nigga, yeah, nigga, what? What? Why nobody never have an answer to that? Somebody gonna answer that at some point. I'm tired of niggas showing up with this bullshit ass B-boy tough stance and shit talking about some what? Ain't nobody answering. Somebody gonna answer that what? I don't think it's gonna be pretty. So you got Hotep double barrel the third running around here on YouTube trying to run niggas into their goddamn channels and shit. I heard him tell nigga, man, you better not be outside your channel when I ride by. What you riding in, nigga? What you riding in? What, you know, we ain't got a electronic pencil and drew you a car and jumped in and start riding around YouTube? I heard a nigga say, I'm bullshit y'all not. See, Red's the Bad Guy channel got a lot of crazy niggas on there, right? This is why I get a lot of this shit from. Y'all gotta start watching Red's the Bad Guy. Shout out to Red's the Bad Guy. You know, this motherfucking channel is hilarious. He got some of the dumbest, most ignorant niggas on there I've ever seen in my life. Nigga on there talking about some, yo, when I ride by your channel, I better not catch you outside. Huh? Outside where? In real life? No, outside your channel. Wait a minute. Hey, wait a minute. Hey, Hotep, double barrel the third, man. Let me holler at you for a minute, man. All right, so what you're saying is you can see a nigga standing outside of his channel. Yeah, man, I ride these YouTube streets all the time. Okay, and so when you in the YouTube streets, you ride by channels, you see motherfuckers standing outside the channels, huh? Yeah. But usually when they see me ride by, they go inside. But why they go inside? Because they know I'm Hotep double barrel the third. Man, that's a hard ass YouTube name, bro. I wish I had that name. I'd be a bad motherfucker, shut my mouth too. Hotep double barrel the third? Nigga, you got it. See, that's the type of name when you walk into places, motherfuckers point at you and say, "You got it. You the man." You the type of knocker people point at. Yo, that's that nigga right there. Yo, who that? Who that, man? That's motherfucking Hotep double barrel the third. Word? That's who that is? Yeah, I heard about that nigga. Did he do a big ass drive by alphabet shooting on somebody's channel? Yeah, man, spit all them goddamn letters at that motherfucker. Took them 40 days to clean up all them empty letter cases. Nigga came through with two stuttering ass motherfucking alphabet guns. Nigga spin alphabets double time. Tommy gun style. To all these YouTube gangbangers, man. Running around here acting like they tough. And they, you know what? And the thing about it is, the way they fight like little girls and shit. Seriously, if they were in real life, you see two niggas out there with barefoot in shorts, shirts off, Noxzema on their face, trying to scratch each other's eyes out. That's what you would see. Because that's the equivalent to how they fight on here. They fight like sissies. First of all, none of them got any goddamn mental or emotional stability. They can't take shit. You tell a motherfucker his mustache is cooking, man, why you being disrespectful, man? Hey, I'm just telling you, man, that's disrespectful. You can't say nothing to these niggas. Everything is disrespectful. Hey, Mello. Hey, Mello. How you doing, Mello? Shout out to Mello. Oh, so yeah. Everybody knows that these YouTube tough guys are some of the weakest dudes emotionally. You can't say nothing to these guys. Nothing. They can't take nothing. Hey, if you say, hey man, listen, I want to have a conversation. I ain't talking to you if it's gonna be disrespectful. Well, hold on, bro. I'm just saying I ain't doing no disrespectful stuff. What? I mean, you guys are men or girls? I done seen so many so-called men on here act like girls. It's getting to the point where I can't tell the difference. See, I'm old school, man. I come from a hard time. I grew up in some hard streets. I ran with niggas who made bones with their bare hands, niggas who hit so fucking hard. You know, okay? Sometimes they'd kill a nigga. I come from the eras when we shot fair ones in the street. Where once you got into a fight, the crowd would encase you in a circle and wouldn't let you leave until one of you couldn't continue anymore. So you had no choice but to fight. I ran with niggas who was known for knocking niggas out. I call it the black and blue era. You had to make your way on the streets with your fist. If you couldn't fight, you better leave town. Because there was no such thing as not being able to fight and it existed in those times. Because you get your ass kicked every goddamn day. A motherfucker, if you was a coward, a motherfucker would learn how to fight by whooping your ass every day. So you was a coward, leave town. So I done been in a lot of fights. I done had my ass whooped. I done been body slammed on the hard concrete. I know what it's like, man, to have your body, somebody stronger than you, lift you up over their head and try to drive your fucking body through the concrete. And when you hit that concrete, everything rattles. Your rib cage, your heart seems like it done moved out of place. Your tailbone, the back part of your legs, everything hit that ground and just rattle everything all up and down your teeth, every goddamn thing. I know what that feels like. And then you got to get up from that and continue to somehow fight. So you had to be made out of the tough stuff back then, or you wouldn't survive. A lot of you niggas couldn't. A lot of you punk ass niggas today couldn't survive no body slam. You die because you're too weak and fragile. That's why y'all want to get guns all the time, because you can't fight. You're too weak. You're too fragile. You can't take a punch in the face like a real man. Can't even take a punch. A man should be able to take an average punch. 250 pounds or 280 pounds of pressure is an average punch. 280 PSI, you should be able to take that. You niggas couldn't take 25 PSI. I believe the average woman is about 120, maybe 100 PSI. Some women will knock you niggas out. I bullshit you not. Some women hit about 190 PSI. I see women hit almost 200 PSI. Will absolutely knock you, a lot of you niggas, unconscious. Y'all up here talking this shit. The black woman is the least. I know some women you won't say that shit around. They'll whoop your ass. And they not masculine. They're walking around in stilettos, looking feminine or whatever, but got a punch that'll break your goddamn jaw. And you little flimsy ass nigga, like I said, game changer. Edward Anderson, who ain't nothing but a lesbian. You little skinny, nonchalant, frail ass niggas. I know some women you couldn't talk that shit around. They will whoop your little skinny, frail ass. No bullshit. And like I said, ain't nothing masculine about them. Hell, you wouldn't even know that they hit that hard. You got some women out there that naturally hit hard than the motherfucker. They're not masculine. They just got heavy ass hands. They were just blessed with heavy hands. It ain't like they don't punch like a man. They punch like a girl. But if they connect, you're gonna be seeing motherfucking Tweety birds and shit. That's why you should never underestimate a woman, bro. Never know which one you're gonna run into. And you little skinny, knock-kneed motherfuckers. I think majority of the fucking women got here to whoop y'all asses. Think about a little skinny ass punk like Game Changer. I think if he got into a fight with some women, we would probably have to save him. So anyway, so the YouTube gangbangers. And listen, you can tell who's a YT gangster. Because YouTube is all they got. Social media is all they got. They run around in hard-ass groups with insignias on their name. They're not hard to spot. You got some sisters doing it too. You got some sisters out here YT gangbanging too. Gangbanging on social media. And on some serious shit about it. Threatening motherfuckers, talking about they're gonna ride by your channel. They better not catch you outside of your channel, or you know what it is. Imagine, listen, you just fired up your channel and shit, right? And somebody step into your channel and talk about, yo, I better not catch you outside your channel. If I do, you know what it is. What? What you? How do you respond to that? I mean, do you stop it? What? Outside my channel? And they dead serious, yo. At first, I gave it a little bit of a doubt. I said, okay, they must mean catch you on somebody else's panel. No. They mean outside your channel, like you stand outside your house or stand on the corner in front of a store. That's the way they mean it. So for some reason, these YouTube gangsters are the only ones that can see channels on YouTube in 3 dimensions. And they see black people standing outside these channels. They see black people. Well, I mean, hey, you can call it crazy if you want. I don't know what it is. That's a new kind of crazy for me. To me, it's kind of like being institutionalized. They've gotten so used to social media that they can't think about anything else, and they've abandoned real life to the point where they've created gangs. And I'm talking about gangs. They're going around here thugging. Niggas is thugging on YouTube. I'm still waiting to see the pants hanging down emoji. If they ain't got one, one's coming soon. Niggas gonna start flashing the pants hanging down emoji. You're gonna see an emoji with a nigga with his pants hanging down and his ass out. That emoji is coming if it's not already here. It's coming. Remember, you heard it here that you're gonna see at some point an emoji with a nigga with dreads turned around with his pants hanging down and his ass out. Thugging. You understand? And and it's sad because these are black dudes. Ain't nobody else doing it with them. Ain't no white boys doing it. Ain't got no Asian dudes doing it. Ain't got no Indian dudes doing it. They ain't got no Latino dudes doing it. Nagas are the only ones doing it. And it's so bad, they even got some of the sisters doing it. They do it so much, hell, the sisters think it's a damn culture. They got some sisters doing it too. Copying off of them. You know? And now when you look at the panels and shit, right? You can tell when they run down on panels because the panels just fucking deteriorate into a hard calling contest, threats. I'm gonna see you in the airport. Sleep with one eye open. You know what I'm saying? Don't drop the soap. You better watch your back. All kinds of shit like that. You got tough Tony keyboard niggas on here telling you to watch your back. I mean, I live in the real world, man, I used to think a lot of this shit was funny. Now I feel sorry for a lot of dudes, man. And I feel bad for us as black people. Our youth is going to shit. Which is getting ready to I'm getting ready to segue into my next part of it. And I'm gonna tell you why our youth are going to shit. But I need about a 10-minute break. I gotta do something. And when I come back, I'm gonna come with the second part, which is gonna lead into the side netta in the conscious community and why our young boys have gone to shit. So Dame,
Yes.
I need you to come in here for about 10 minutes. I'll be right back and stay on topic. Let's not tell wild stories and stuff, okay? I'll be back.
Okay.
All right.
All right. All right. Hey, Akia, you missed all the funny stuff. All right. Yes. It's been well. YouTube, especially lately, has seemed to be turning into the Wild Wild West. Yeah. Everybody seemed to be banging on somebody. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody's banging on somebody. And stuff like that. I never thought of all. I saw those little markers that mark the group, but I didn't pay any attention. I didn't think it could be, yeah, I guess it could be considered a gain or a click. Uh, but do they know how they sound when they say I better not catch you out your channel? But it's wild, and it's like, unfortunately, some of this is bleeding out into the real life, you know. But as for I'm glad the gangbang, the drive by banging hadn't progress outside outside of YouTube. But as I said, where the men go, the women eventually follow. Yeah. And I wonder, how can you do a drive by on somebody's panel when they could just kick you out? But it could be those like me that's just reluctant to kick anybody out unless they go too far. Yeah. And you troll a chat, all you're gonna do is get kicked out by the mods. But it's the assassins that wait in the clouds, and then when your link is out, they hop into your panel. Yeah. Uh, so there's been a lot of banging going on. There's been the thing going on with Polite, and then on to Sinetta, and then there's on the other sectors of YouTube. There's the another group that's banging on each other, and I'm the moderate one. I hardly go through YouTube like talking about, but yeah, I found another group duking it out there, and went too far, and now they ready to box. Well, one of them's ready to box. The other one looked like he's trying to chicken out, and yeah, even went so far as to buy a gun because the guy is supposed to be in that area where he lives. Well, it's supposed to be going there, but yeah, he's gone on vacation. All right. So yeah, but unfortunately, this is setting a bad example for kids. But it's no different from when you see the adults fight in front of the kids. And so our kids gonna copy the same behavior. And it'd be like, I don't know where she get it from. I don't know where he get it from. They get it from you. I'd be surprised when parents be saying that. I'd be like, they got it from you. Don't you remember? Let me refresh your memory. So, sorry for kids that the kids are being raised by overgrown kids, or not raised in some cases. Yeah, yes, did
Okay, I'm
cover
back.
fight. Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm back. Thanks, Dane, for holding it down. The Black Knight is
Mm-hmm.
back. Shout out to Lakeisha.
Mm-hmm.
Mello, if you're still in here, go ahead and type. Make sure your wrench is there. I modded you up. All right. If you can hear this. All right, so let's continue, y'all. Where do I leave off? Oh yeah, you know, great segue, Dame, about setting a bad example. Our youth has gone to shit, and with examples like Sonetta and Kevin Samuels and Alan Roger Curry and Alpha Male Strategies and the likes of the Manners Quiz and Sissy Bems and Red Pillars, you can see why. Our young boys really don't have a fighting chance anymore. And we got all these stupid factions running around here, you know, having brothers in a daze to the point where they don't know how to produce anything. Our young youth, if you listen to the average conversation of guys in their I'm gonna go with 30 because I'm shocked at the 30-year-olds. Apparently, 15 is the new 30 mentally. Let me say that one more time. 15 is the new 30 mentally for young black brothers. Every 30-year-old black dude I've talked to for the last 6 months, I thought were kids mentally. And I mean like 15, 16 years old. I even told one dude, I was trying to run one dude off here. Like, how did you even get in here? Man, I'm 30 years old. What? And so, one of the worst ones I've seen is a brother that comes on the RBR panel. Now, he came up here one time. His name is Zab or Zeb. He's one of the worst ones I've seen yet. His life is completely centered around regurgitation of information from outside sources. He does not have one original thought. He doesn't know how to think at all. He doesn't exercise common sense, doesn't even know what that is. All he does is regurgitate. That's all he does. These young boys can't even think. All they are regurgitators. They can't think for themselves. They express no signs of original thought. Every thought in their head comes from somewhere else. Okay? They do not think because they think what somebody else is thinking. So if they're thinking what somebody else is thinking, then only one of them are thinking. And so when you have so-called conscious community leaders like this bum Sonetta, who keeps running around here trying to defend himself and deflect himself because, I'm sorry, and deflect from himself because he has supported a pedophile, an alleged pedophile. We have to say that for legal purposes. He said something crazy on his podcast today. He said, yeah, man, the last time I came at Brother Polite and it cost me. They threw the case out, family. So now I gotta wait for all the evidence. They may throw this case out. Nah, see, well, it's kind of hard to throw a case out with damning evidence like DNA evidence. I'm willing to bet this case doesn't get thrown out, Sonetta. When the semen that was all over her clothing matched him, that's damning evidence. That alone put him in a sexual act with a minor, even if he didn't penetrate. The fact that she has semen all over the front part of her clothes puts him in a sexual act with a minor. That right there is statutory rape. You're not getting around that. He's talking about, well, I don't want to, go out there, but it looks bad. No, it is. It don't look bad. It is bad. Dame, get that news report that we had earlier. Let me know when you got it, all right?
Okay.
All right. Mello, you got your wrench? I wanted to make sure I gave you a wrench. Okay. So you are protecting a dude that took a 14-year-old girl to a hotel because the club was closed. Now, what kind of logic is that? How are you defending that? Let's take this one step at a time. He asked to take the 14-year-old girl to an after party. Her mother consented on doing that, which I don't know why, but I don't bang on the sisters. Okay? We have black women here in this chat. We also have black women on this panel. Y'all can handle the mother. Okay? I go after the dudes. I let the women handle the women. Because personally, I don't give a damn if she let her go or not. Polite is a grown-ass man who's supposed to be responsible and had no business touching a 14-year-old girl who's underage in any kind of appropriate manner. I don't give a damn if the mother let her go or not. That don't mean shit to me.
Hello.
Uh-huh.
All right. I got it. And no, she didn't. That was a lie he told. All right. Let me do the copyright and
Yeah,
then we can go
yeah.
right in.
Yeah, I want y'all to listen to this report, and then we're going to break it down. Make sure you share the screen too, Dane.
Okay. Okay. First, this channel may contain content not authorized for use by its owner. However, according to Section 107 of the Copyright Act of the United States, the fair use of copyrighted work for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, or research is not an infringement of copyright.
Well, he normally garners attention for his online posts, but now the social media influencer, motivational speaker, is making headlines for the wrong reason. NBC6 reporter Kim Nguyen is live in Miami Beach tonight with more on the arrest of the man known as Brother Polite. Kim.
Yeah, well, Jawan, the suspect surrendered here at the Miami Beach Police Department earlier this week. Police charged him with sexual battery of a 14-year-old girl. We did speak with his lawyer earlier tonight, who says that these charges are false. This is the mugshot of 37-year-old Michael Nowac Jr., also known as Brother Polite, to his more than 300,000 Instagram followers. Miami Beach police arrested Nowac this week for alleged sexual battery of a 14-year-old girl in a hotel room in February. Police say the alleged victim was the daughter of a woman he was romantically linked to. Defense attorney David Terrace says his client is innocent.
Once the evidence is produced, that he is going to be exonerated. So yeah, not guilty, nothing else.
According to the police report, Nowac, a motivational speaker and author who lives in L.A., asked the woman if he could take her daughter to an after party at a club in Miami. The report states Nowac took the teen to his hotel after seeing that the club was closed. Police say the suspect gave the teen alcohol and started dancing and touching the teen inappropriately, groping her breast, inner thighs, and buttocks. It goes on to say Nowac tried to force the teen to perform oral sex on him. The teen allegedly passed out and woke up to Nowac trying to make her throw up.
These are serious allegations, but in any situation, there is always motive. There is always a lot behind the scenes that the public is not going to be able to see.
The report states that the girl's mother found her intoxicated and possibly on drugs, with severe swelling on her mouth and lips. It later states Nowac told the mother not to call police because it would ruin his career. Nowac was served with a DNA warrant in June and surrendered to police on Monday. Terrace says the police report is only an allegation. And Nowac claims to have written more than 90 books. In an interview, he also claims to have several wives. For now, we're reporting live in Miami Beach. Kim Wynn, NBC6 News.
All right, then get off the screen. Hey, man, is it me? Or does that motherfucker look like one of them scrolls from Captain Marvel? I'm just saying. But anyway, all right, I got a whole lot of problems with all of this, okay? You heard the report, groping her breast, all this sexual, pedophilic, deviant shit. Okay, let's break it down from the beginning. Why are you asking to take a 14-year-old girl to an after party? What is a 14-year-old girl doing at an after party with grown-ass adults? Was it even legal for her to be there? Knowing what goes on in these after parties. 2, when the club was closed, why did you take her to a hotel? Why didn't you just simply take her back to her mother? See, I got a problem with these. I got a problem with that. Because they're trying to make it seem like this 14-year-old girl manipulated the great, all-knowing Brother Rape-A-Lot. She manipulated one of the greatest minds of our time. The brother sold 90 books. I'm not sure who he sold the 90 books to. I don't know if he got the bestsellers. Hell, I didn't even know he wrote any books until they said so. Now, he claims to be like super intelligent. Well, I don't know about that. You're doing stupid stuff like this, and I don't know about super intelligent. But so Mr. Super Intelligence is being manipulated by a 14-year-old girl. How is that even happening? This is what they're trying to spin in the conscious community, Sonetta. Right? It's the young girl's fault. She led him astray. She led him on. You that goddamn mentally weak that you let a 14-year-old lead you into a trap in which you're going to pay mightily for, because you're in a lot of trouble, dog. This ain't gonna be no throw out case. I don't know what the fuck your lawyer talking about, but hey, he got to say that. I want to see how they get around the statutory rape. That's what I want to see. And how they're going to get around the receipt at the hotel. How they're going to get around the DNA evidence. How are they going to get around all that? The DNA evidence alone got them cold. How are you going to get around that? But my question still stands. Bro Ray Polite or Brother Polite, whatever the hell you call yourself. When the club was closed, which you shouldn't have took her there in the first place, God knows what would have happened if we would have got her inside that club. You already saw what his intentions were, allegedly. So, Mr. Polite, Mr. Pedalite, if you will, Mr. Pedalite, when the club was closed, why do you just simply take her back home? See, I don't want to hear no shit now about, well, you know, it's one of them things where you slander and, you know, people make up. Man, I don't want to hear that shit. You could have avoided all of this if you would have just simply took her back home. Which is what a responsible, first of all, a responsible man would have took her to no goddamn after party. First of all, a responsible man wouldn't have had any goddamn business asking the mother to take her 14-year-old daughter any goddamn where. Unless he's taking them both out for ice cream or taking them both to the movies or something. It's a package deal. If I'm taking a young girl out, her mother's going with her. I'm taking them both out. It's a package deal. I'm like, come on, babe. Get ready to take you out. Well, I can't do my daughter. Bring her too. I'll take both of you out. Let's go. It's a package deal. I keep telling you, you Nagas, it's not a good thing to try to separate women from their children. It's a package deal, and you need to treat them like a package deal. You stay the fuck out of trouble that way. But you Nagas don't listen because you guys are smarter than everybody. And you end up in cases like this, where you lied about your legal team. You got one lawyer, talking about you got a legal team. Him and who? A couple of gophers? A couple of niggas from the conscious community? Hell, you got more of a legal team in the conscious community than the one you paying for. All them niggas in the conscious community defending you? Hey, niggas, hey, black men, man, why are y'all sitting up here acting like you don't see what the fuck's going on? Y'all pretending like this shit didn't happen. Well, we don't know what happened. What do you mean you don't know what happened? He asked to take a 14-year-old girl to an after party alone, which he did not deny. And when the club was closed, instead of his black ass taking her home to her mother, he took her to a hotel because he's a sexual deviant. And he had bad intentions for her. God only knows what would have happened if he would have got her alone at that after party, where he could have paid people to lie. Y'all see them talking about, well, what did the girl do? She didn't do nothing. That's what she did. Nothing. Next question. Well, what did the girl do? She didn't do nothing. That's what she did. Next question. Well, what did the girl do? She did nothing. We could do this all day, dog. You keep asking me what did the girl do? I'm going to keep telling you she did nothing. Because she did nothing. Well, what did the mother do? Nothing. Well, then she did. I don't care. What are you blaming the mother for? The mother didn't rape her own daughter. A man did that. Your mans and them did that. He's responsible for his behavior. He had no business. Now, I understand some of you dudes, you got that bonehead thing going on to where your skull is like solid bone all the way through. I understand all that. You know, I sympathize with your mental handicap. So let me spell it out for you. Or say it slow. Brother Polite had no. This is for you bonehead dudes who has nothing but a solid skull instead of a brain in your head. I'm going to go slow because I'm recognizing your handicap. Here we go. Brother Polite had no business touching a underage girl in a inappropriate manner. I mean, was that clear enough? I don't know how it doesn't get any clearer than that. I mean, we could have a poll on it, right? All right, people in the chat. One, if Polite is a grown, responsible adult and had no business touching an underage girl in an inappropriate manner. That's one. Two, if you disagree. One, if you believe he had no business touching that girl in an inappropriate manner because he's supposed to be a grown, responsible adult. So one for that. Two, if you disagree. Let's see what the people are saying in the chat. We're going to put that into the chat. All right. So one, okay, just wait, got a bunch of ones. They engage the chat.
All right. One and done from Hassan. One a whole bunch of ones from Just Woke. Hey, Polo Sport, talking entertainment.
Shout out to Polo Sports. Come on, y'all, don't let me down. Come on, get involved. It's okay if you disagree. You can do that because some people disagree.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna be mad at you if you disagree. If you agree that Brother Polite, regardless of what the mother did, had no business as a grown adult to touch that girl in an inappropriate manner, put one in the chat. If you disagree, put two. It's okay if you disagree. We're not going to kick you out. You're entitled to your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
We don't discriminate. You are entitled to your opinion. We don't agree with it, but you're entitled to it. So let's get some interaction percent. So far, we got two people. Come on, it's more y'all. It's more y'all in here than that. Let me see some ones and twos.
Well, I guess we just assume the cloud people are twos.
My chat's a little behind too, Dame. So gauge the chat.
Okay, I'm gauging.
So like I said, right, Sonetta is worried because this is pointing back to him. And it should point back to him because he supported this pedophile and defended this pedophile to no end. Right? And now that the pedophile is under fire, he's seeking to make money off the pedophile. Never said nothing about the 14-year-old victim.
Yeah,
and shout out to Chaz the Goat for digging in Sonetta's ass about that 14-year-old girl. Shout out to the GOAT.
All right, we got two more ones from Malika and Akia.
Right. See, there you have it, folks. almost everybody in this chat agrees that Bro Rape a Lot should have never touched that girl in an inappropriate manner. Case closed. There is nothing else to talk about. There is no, well, the mother let her go. I don't want to hear none of that. That don't mean a hill of beans. That's completely irrelevant. You are a grown adult. You are responsible for your actions. You had no business touching that girl inappropriately. Okay? And you fools out there that's trying to defend this dude, you guys are a bunch of pedophiles too. Because only a pedophile would defend some shit like that. No man in his right mind is going to defend those actions. No man in his right mind is going to blame the mother. But this goes back to what I said before, guys, about how men, a lot of black men, lie to black women, and they sell black women a bill of goods. And then they said that and then at the end, when he stabbed her in the back and betray her, they tell her that she should have chose better, right? But you see, at the time when you selling her a bill of goods, she actually believes that she is choosing the right thing. She actually believes she is making the right choice. So this woman thought that she could trust this man. He put on a persona. She's his girlfriend. So at some point, she believes that she can trust this man with her daughter. And Brother Polite is a smooth talker, very charismatic. Likes to use one of the tactics called etymology all the time to try to give himself some extra intellect. Always etymologizing words, right? He's a smooth talker with his pseudo intellect. I always said about this brother, he knows shit that only he knows. Kind of like give him that fucking title. He's a legend in his own mind. Somebody don't think the brother's that smart. Anybody can sit up there and fucking read passages in the Bible and then come out and regurgitate shit. A lot of these guys are regurgitators, man. When you hear these guys spit this shit out, it ain't because they got some great intellect. It's because they've been reading the same goddamn passages in the Bible for 40 years. They know the goddamn things by heart. They ain't trying to read nothing else. The Hebrew Israelites, that's all they fucking read. So they should know these damn passages. And that's why they're always going. That's why when they argue with you, they always want to use scripture. Why? Because they can't argue with you any other kind of way. Scripture is their strong point. Because that's all they study. That's all they read. That's why it's so difficult to beat them in a debate, because you're playing in their wheelhouse. You're playing by their rules. You pretty much are fighting with your hands behind your back. Captain Tazariak isn't undefeated because he's smart. He's undefeated because people who have gone up against him are stupid. They keep trying to debate him on something that he's powerful in. All that nigga do is study those scriptures. There ain't nothing he knows about them damn scriptures. So debate him on those scriptures, good luck. These niggas been reading these scriptures for 40 years. every damn day. 25 hours a day. Not 24. They don't add another hour to the day. They're the only ones walking around here with 25-hour days. And because they know these scriptures so much, then you won't make fun of the way they dress. Running around here looking like they're out of a goddamn Ben-Hur movie. Niggas think they Samson and Hercules and shit. One nigga running around here with some leopard shit on and some tassels on some tight ass fucking, high leotard pants talking about Hercules was a black man. Well, was he a gay man? Because you look like a gay Hercules, bro. I get that he was a black man, but was he a gay black man? Because if he wasn't, you got Hercules fucked up. I mean, I saw one of them motherfuckers looking like Tarzan, yo. Out there shouting, talking about, the black woman is the devil. Nigga dressed in tiger skins. With a beard. Nigga had a beard as big as a fire hydrant. Dressed in tiger skin. And moon boots. It's 235 degrees outside. Nigga beard started smoking. Talking about, so the black woman is the devil. Why? Because you said something about the way you dressed and all of this heat? Man, these niggas, these Hebrew Israelites, man, these dudes are gone. Okay? These dudes are out to lunch. The elevator, fuck going to the top, the elevator broke. Don't even, matter of fact, there's fucking police tape around the elevator. Don't even go over there. Forget about the elevator going to the top. The shit, bro, don't even work. It has never worked. These dudes is crazy, man. And let me tell you something. All these factions, all it comes down to, right, is bringing the black woman to heel, to where they can get sex and molest a woman or rape a black woman freely with no repercussions. These dudes are sick. They're poor in spirit. It's ironic they preach about the spirit and they're very poor in the spirit. They don't live God's way. They live their own way. Talking about they don't want their women wearing panties. At the age of 12, a girl is ready to be gang raped. What kind of talk is that for a man of God? What kind of men of God walk around saying things like this? Well, when a woman is read. Well, when a woman is 12 years old, she's ripe to be gang raped. What kind of spirituality is that? Wait a minute, where's that in the Bible? Wait a minute, let me bring in my Bible, my two Bible aficionados. Dame.
Yep, I'm
Abby.
here. All right.
Abby. All right, she may be having a technical issue. All right, Dame.
Mm-hmm.
You're my Bible aficionado, my part-time Hebrew Israelite.
Uh-huh.
Where in the Bible does it say, well, we do our Hebrew Israelite thing every now and then. You know how we get down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You ever heard me and Dane do our Hebrew Israelite thing? We ain't gonna do it right now, but we be tripping sometime. But Dane, where in the Bible does it say that when a woman or a female turns 12, that she's ripe to be gang raped?
Uh-huh.
Did you hear the
I
question?
that is just so smart. No, that I ain't never seen anything like that in the Bible.
Now, you go to Bible study every week, right?
Yeah.
You ever come across that in your Bible study?
No.
Pastor ever talked about it?
Uh-uh.
You ever seen it anywhere?
No.
No biblical text, huh?
Uh-uh. In
All
fact,
right.
I'm trying to Google it to see if there is such a thing.
So your Hebrew Israelites are running around here talking about a woman, and we're going to see if we can find that. Matter of fact, Dave, type in Hebrew Israelites saying that a woman is ripe for gang rape at the age of 12, and play it in the background and make sure that's what they're saying. Okay, and we're gonna play it on here so they can hear it for themselves. All right, guys, see if you can track it down. Start with
Okay.
ISP. Start first with ISP UK.
Okay.
Okay, that's the group Tazariot belongs to. All right, so while she's tracking that down, we're gonna see if we can find that. Okay. No, I've never seen it either. I've never seen it anywhere in the Bible. Now, let me tell you how crazy these dudes is, right? The Bible, God tells you to love a woman like you would love yourself, right? So if he's telling you that, then why would he then turn around and tell you that she's the devil? Does that make any damn sense? And I noticed that when you bring those scriptures up to these guys, oh, they get them damn big fucking Herman monster boots they be wearing. They turn into tap dancing boots. Nigga walking around talking about some boom, 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 boom. Me, Hebrew Israelite. Fuck you. Hey, man, did you hear about God saying that you should love the woman like you love yourself? Kapikapoo, kapikapoo, kapikapoo. What you talking about, boy? Wow, they get yo, man. They turn into Sopranos and shit and start click clacking like they wearing stilettos. Wait a minute, where was all this hard walking? Boom, boom. Me Hebrew Israelite. Fuck you. Where was all that after? Hey man, didn't God say that you should love the woman like you love yourself? Click clack, click clack, click clack. What you talking about, boy? Hey, what happened? Did you suddenly turn feminine? And what happened to these big Herman monster boots? Why all of a sudden they sound like stilettos? See, anytime you put truth to these dudes and what's really going on in the Bible, everybody start dancing and running and start getting all girly and shit. But they strong men when they out there calling a woman the devil, saying she's the worst thing. These guys you think the manosphere, and trust me, I don't like defending, I don't want to defend the manosphere either. Okay, this is just a freak thing. But you think the manosphere is bad. These Israelites are insane when it comes down to their hatred for black women. They are insane. And I've listened to a lot of them. I've studied them. I've watched them on corners. I've seen how they go at women. And you know what? What kills me, this is what bugs me out, right? They call the white man the devil. And when a white man comes walking by, you the devil. You're going to be licking my boots in the afterlife. Let's take that for a moment. Licking my boots in the afterlife. They sound like they've been there before. Like there's J.C. Penney and Foot Locker out there, or Payless. Where they getting the boots from? I didn't know spirits wore boots. In the afterlife, I didn't know spirits had a tongue. So let's get this right. You telling me while you in real life that in the afterlife, a spirit with a tongue and wearing some boots going to be licking your boots with his tongue? These dudes are otherworldly insane. Now, a white man come walking by, you a devil, you gonna pay. Black woman come by, now she the devil. Wait a minute, what happened to the white dude that you called the devil? No, this is the devil himself. Well, this is a girl, bro. It's not a himself, it's a herself. No, that's the devil himself. Are you married? I am. To what, a broom or a mop or a table or a chair or something? No, I'm married to a black woman. Oh, you married to a black woman himself? What are you talking about? You insulted my wife. Would you just call this woman the devil himself when she's clearly a female? She's not a him. So I guess your wife must be a him. No, my wife is a feminine woman. Oh, she's not the devil? No, well then how come this black woman's the devil? Of course but you don't even know her. They just go crazy on random black women, saying the worst things I've ever heard in my life. I heard one of these dudes talking about he wanted to eat black women as a sacrifice. Let me tell you something, man. These dudes ain't spiritual. You can believe that shit if you want. And I feel sorry for the women who are caught up in this shit because they're following the men. Like there's a woman that I really, really like, beautiful black woman, got a show called Redirecting. Her husband is absolutely out of his fucking mind with this Hebrew Mizraelite shit. And she caught up in that shit. Beautiful black woman, man. Dark-skinned woman, had 10 children. Unbelievable. That's amazing. For her to look as good as she do, I had 10 children. Unbelievable. That's amazing. Shout out to her. Her name is Deborah. And I watch her out of respect, but I think she's out of her mind. You know, so, and women are following these men. And they get into these groups, and then they end up getting raped. And you know what they try to do? They try to get women desensitized to rape. That's what's going on right now. Have anybody noticed that? They're trying to get black women desensitized to rape. This is why they won't defend black women. This is why Sonetta will defend Polite and say juvenile shit like, oh, if he get convicted, I'm going to be the first one to stand with you and go ham. Nigga, why you ain't going ham now? Why you ain't defending that little girl? So you can't tell me shit. You see, these niggas don't want to talk to no real men. That's why they had to get Taz out of there, because Taz was lighting these niggas up. Shout out to the GOAT. They can't handle no shit with no real man. See, because you ain't going to talk that dumb shit to a real man. You ain't going to come at me talking about some, man, if, you know, when Polite get mother, I'm going it, man, fuck that. How come you ain't defending it? Okay, while you waiting for Polite to get convicted, how come you not defending this little girl? How come you're not expressing outrage about what's going on in the community with our little girls being sexually assaulted? Since you're supposed to be a leader in the community and all, you and your house of con artists, people, that conscious shit is a con. There is no truth in it. It's an ongoing con to scam, to mesmerize you and have you in such a daze so that you will depart with your hard-earned money. It's a con. That's all it is. It isn't real. There is no truth in it. The conscious community is filled with nothing but charlatans. There's not an honest dude in the conscious community. They are all charlatans. The real people left the conscious community because they saw what it became, especially when Sonetta took over as the so-called king of the house of consciousness. Said he left, said he stopped fucking with them because they fake. Dr. Phil Valentine left. These guys are phony. They're all scammers. It's all about money. It's a money grab. They're there to put on the best show that they possibly can to entertain and tantalize your mental so they can get paid. They're not there to help no black people. They ain't there to help you. They ain't here to do shit. They don't have no damn solutions and they don't produce nothing. Ain't one of them niggas in the conscious community is a productive black male. Not one of them. They don't produce shit. It's a con. And the House of Consciousness is the biggest con group there is on that side of YouTube. Anywhere from Bro, whatever his name is, that suspect dude wearing all the gowns, the things that look like gowns and dresses, Brother Jabari, Shaka almost over there dressing like an ugly ass drag queen. Did y'all see that fool with all that Egyptian makeup on? Man, hey, y'all think I'm playing, right? Hey, dang.
Yes.
Look up look up Shaka Amos on the Brother Jabari show.
Okay.
All right. Let me know when you got that. Shaka Amos singing that dumbass song, Egypt is a Black Land. Look up Shaka Amos, Egypt is a Black Land. Y'all got to hear this song too. This is the worst rendition of any song I have ever heard in my life. I can't tell if this dude sound like Magilla Gorilla or Felonious Snuffleupagus. It may be a combination of the two. You're about to hear it so you can be the judge. And the nigga had the nerve to have a bridge in the song. Like he can actually hit another note. The nigga sung the song in one dry ass note and had the nerve to have a high bridge in the song, like he can actually hit another note. I'm listening to the song and I heard girls and no, he was like, okay, the song goes like this. I'm bullshit you not. This is what it sounds like. Wait a minute, see? Y'all got me acting a damn fool. Hold on, man. Let me get my head right. Y'all ain't shit, man. Who started me acting crazy up here today, man? Y'all know I ain't got no damn sense. Okay, so the song literally goes like this. So it sounds like this. I bullshit you not. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. That's what it sounds like. So imagine hearing that for like 3 fucking verses. Then I don't know where you hear boys and girls. Like what? Like what the fuck was that? I know that was a part of the record, dude. It was? Motherfucker. See, Dad, you better cut it out. You I'm telling you, you listen to also boys and girls. Like what? Yo, okay, do you have it, Dane?
Yeah, here we go.
All right, okay, we got to do the whole nine. We got to give this proper respect. All right, I'm gonna go on mute. Dame, make sure you do your copyright thing one more time just in case. I want you to play this motherfucker. Okay. We're gonna give this proper respect. I want you to see this drag queen, crazy ass nigga, who actually thinks he can sing. I don't know who the fuck told him that. Okay, but check this out. I'm going to mute. Dame, take it away.
All right, one more time. This channel may contain content not authorized for use by its owner. However, according to Section 107 of the Copyright Act of the United States, the fair use of copyrighted work for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, or research is not an infringement of copyright. All right. All right.
All the lies you've been told, baby, let me set you straight. What we did back then was great. You just don't know. Let me show you the past so your future can look bright. Help you walk into the light. Cause you see yourself. I've heard them say that we wasn't even there. Baby, let me make it clear. We were the ones. If you pay attention to what I'm about to show, there's no doubt that you will know we were the ones. And I'ma show you Nefertari was. Said she was black because that's the way that my man show you. Egypt was a black man, King Tut was a black man. Cause that's the way that my man is now. When we came from the southern land, so I know they think that we forgot. Remember the time from the horn and the west. These black people made their way. See them coming for Friday. And there we are, as above, so below. This is how they built in stone. We have never been alone. This is the truth. If you can't see yourself, then it's true you've been misled. Got them lies all in your head. Let me help you, and I'ma show you. Nefertari was. Said she was black because that's the way that my man will show you. Egypt was a black man, King Tut was a black man. Cause that's the way that my man will show you. Our history, it ain't no mystery. Just listen and understand and show you what they cannot hide, what they can't deny. That Egypt was a black man. Lately I've been thinking of days gone by. And all the things that we forgotten, voices from the distant past make themselves heard. Resurrection, something's not a juice been revealed. Tell me what you gonna do. Gonna keep it to yourself or gonna tell the world? If you do, then prepare for the challenges you face. My heart goes out to you, precious black boys and girls. And I'ma show you Nefertari was. Said she was black because that's the way that my man will show you. Egypt was a black man, King Tut was a black man. Cause that's the way that my man will show you. Our history, it ain't no mystery. Just listen and understand and show you what they cannot hide, what they can't deny. That Egypt was a black man. Egypt was a black man. Egypt was a black man. Man was a black man. Top, King Tut was a black man.
God damn. Did y'all hear that? What the F is that? Did y'all hear that nigga go to the high bridge? Boys, like he actually had another note to hit. Nigga, is your bottom lip 2 sizes bigger than your top one? What the fuck? Nigga spitting on the floor, dressed like a gay ass sphinx. Hey man, what is wrong with niggas, man? Hey, who told this nigga he could sing? And the guy who hosts the show, Brother Jabari, had another comment talking about, man, that was great, Brother Amos. I mean, you're a great singer. That's a terrific song. The fuck is he talking about? Is he fucking high? Is that nigga smoking you? Is that nigga smoking Jumanji or something?
Nah, he's kissing butt.
Yo, Brother Amos, that was a terrific song. You're a great singer. What? Nigga, is you crazy? I would have asked him never to come on my show again. Did you notice the guy on the guitar? He was playing like he couldn't hurry up and get the song over with. He had his head leaned over like he just took something for an earache. Did y'all hear that shit? The fuck is he talking about? Man, what's wrong with these niggas? I want to know who the hell told him he could sing. We need to lock that motherfucker up. Find the motherfucker you can told to sing and press charges on that motherfucker. Nah, nigga, you going to jail today. You running around here telling people that they can sing and shit who got the worst fucking voices on earth. You fucking without hearing, bro. I mean, did y'all hear that? That is the worst rendition of any song I have ever heard in all of my natural black life. And he up there dressed like a drag queen, like a gay ass Hotep. Got all that damn Egyptian makeup on, eyeliner, blush and shit, rouge. Nigga, you a man. These dudes don't want to be masculine for nothing.
Yeah.
They don't want to be manly for nothing. What you say that, Dane?
I was saying it looked like he also got some base makeup on too.
Yeah.
Or what they call pancake batter.
Yeah, that's. I mean, and this is what's in the conscious community. This is the type of shit that our young people are listening to. And you wonder why our young boys are fucked up. You wonder why they out there killing babies. Because they're out of their goddamn mind and they don't have any damn leadership. Look at what's going on in the leadership. You got drag queens out here making some of the worst songs. I don't even know what the song was about. Did anybody even understand the damn lyrics? I done heard that song like 10 times, still don't know what the fuck he's singing about.
Only got Egypt is a black land, and boys and girls, and the rest of it seem like do 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 do, or as as Charlene said, baby talk.
Yeah, the worst rendition of a song I have ever heard in my life. And he's up there drag queening the hell out of it. And that fool, Jabari, had the nerve to tell him after the show, most that was that was a terrific song. You're a great singer. Man, what the fuck you talking about? Hey, get your skinny ass out of here, man. You know, yo, I would have told I'd have fired my producer after he booked some shit like that. After that, I came back to, hey, man, get out of here, bro. Don't even come back. Yeah, man, just get on out of here. I'd have got me a new producer. Somebody in their right mind, because obviously this motherfucker that produced him is crazy. But you see, this is what it is with the black community, right? This is what's going on with guys like Sonetta and these fools in the conscious community. It's a goddamn con. It's an act. They're only there to get a money grab. These dudes are unprotected. Listen, when they on camera, right, they're comfortable because they got little businesses going on because they know that y'all going to support them. These guys don't work. Sonetta doesn't have a real job. He has that big platform that reaches all the way into Africa. I understand that's a huge platform now. I mean, he is charlatan and all, but that platform he got is gigantic. It reaches a couple of countries. Okay, he's got some reach. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. That conscious shit is in a couple of countries. It's a con game over there too. Okay?
Yeah. Is meant to be more spiritual than lyrical. Yeah, well then that's the way I sound when I forgot the lyrics to
Well,
a
shit.
song.
Biz
So
Markie
I'm
would have did it.
spiritual.
Shit, I would have rather heard shout out to Biz Markie, God rest his soul. I would have rather heard Biz Markie do the song. Shit. He would have did a better job than that shit. I don't know what the fuck that was. Nigga sound like a baby dinosaur. And then the nigga had the nerve to go high bridge like he can actually reach another note. Like he could actually sing in more than one note. Did y'all hear that?
Yeah, I think that's why the guy was leaning away from him. Yeah.
The nigga actually tried to sing like he had more than one note in his singing repertoire. Like, dude, you a clown. But anyway, and sign that I'm winding down, y'all. I'm running out of energy. With that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed my presentation. I'm at the end of my rant. This is when I bring in my two ladies, but apparently Abby done fell asleep, so Dame is free. Drop the link, Dame. We're gonna open it up for a little while.
Okay, here you go.
So Dame, as usual, what'd you think of the show?
Oh well, you had me laughing so hard I had to run to the restroom.
Oh wow.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So yeah, a lot of funny with the truth.
Mm.
Yeah. So yeah, I enjoyed the show. Yeah, and you pointing out the obvious glaring thing. Now he said that, not the little girl, not the mother. He said when he got to the club, and it wasn't there, that he took her to a hotel.
Okay, so that's what he said.
He said that.
Oh, so
why
he
you taking
incriminated
it back to
himself.
her mama?
Yeah. That's a question that he's gonna, if he go to trial, which he'd be stupid to go to trial, he's probably gonna have to cop a plea, because all that throwing this case out, I don't see that happening. Not with that DNA evidence. Okay. So if he goes to trial, he's gonna have that, because a competent prosecutor.
Oh, hey, Mello.
Hey.
Oh, hello. Oh, there we are. Hello.
Hey.
Oh,
Who is
great.
that?
Okay.
That's Mello.
I'm Mello.
Hey, Mello.
And sometimes this is a remarkable live stream. You know,
Oh, thank you.
Is what Black people pick up on the most. That's from my study. Like from my observation and study, people never forget what made them sure the message was delivered about these perverts, how despicable and atrocious they are, through humor. And that will be more impactful than anything. Mention the people that are thugging with online, about, because I never really thought about it that I thought about it in that, and I'm old, okay? I'm old, and I never thought about it in the way that you conveyed it, where they're making these threats online as if online is their reality. And I was just very impactful for me, only because I didn't think about it that way before. I didn't think about it like, why should I take someone's threat seriously? They're online. They obviously are emotionally disturbed, and that's why they're charging hard and stuttering while they're doing it. You know, when you said I never looked at it like that before, because there are people that are cussing people out intentionally, and they're stuttering while they're doing it, and you become a person that clutches your pearls, like, well, my God, am I safe? I mean, what's going on? But in actuality, you made me realize that they're just, exercising their frustrations of being an inadequate individual. And, so that's what I got out of the first half of the live stream. The second half of the live stream speaks for itself. Game, I love your spirit. I think, I just love your spirit. You're very consistent and in how you communicate. You're very consistent.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart, isn't she?
Yeah, I just think that I really love her spirit. That's what I think. I love her spirit. It's like there are women that, like, my personality, because of my background, fluctuates, right? One day I could be really kind and gentle. Another day I could be a monster. However, Dame is very consistent, and I really admire that in a woman. Dame, I admire.
Is this the Mello that be on RBR?
Don't call me out like that.
What's up, Bella? How are you? I'm glad you came over. You're always welcome over here, sweetheart. I'm glad you came over.
I'm fine. I enjoyed the humor, of course. And I also enjoyed the underlining message, which is more important. So that's why I came up. Give you kudos.
Thank you, Mello. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. And like I said, they're trying to blame the mother. I'm not trying to hear that. He's a responsible grown ass man. He should have never touched that girl inappropriately.
And then, according to the daughter and the mother, he lied. She didn't approve of him taking her daughter to the club. He was supposed to escort her downstairs to the library to meet the group, and they were going to go eat.
And then he said something, from what I heard, is that, oh, they'll meet up with us later. I'll take you there. So he was just actually preparing the night to abuse her. He was just preparing the night.
Yeah. Or otherwise, why did he just take her back to her mother? If the club was closed, why didn't he just take her back home?
Yeah. It seems that it was thought. You know, it was
It was partially
it was
thought.
planned. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like he wanted to take an opportunity to be a pervert while he had the chance to do it.
yeah,
He's just a sad, sorry sack of everything.
yeah.
And I want to know if anybody could tell me, how do we identify these types of personalities before they commit harm? Is there
Well,
any
well,
way to identify them?
well. What I've noticed now, I'm not a scientist with everything, but what I've seen, that's a pattern with a lot of these guys is immaturity. It's always like
Okay.
their maturity level is like in a teenage range. You know, and teenagers like teenage girls, right? So whenever these guys end up like this, they always seem to be extremely immature. They can sound intelligent, but when you look at their behavior is very, very mentally young. That's what I've noticed about a lot of them. Like they live off of their girls, like the girls are their mamas. They want to be taken care of like boys. They don't want the responsibilities. They want the mother to clean up their room.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is why they always blame the black on for everything. They don't want to take responsibility. They're very, very immature guys, and they're
Okay.
very socially awkward, right? And most of them seem to have some kind of overly sexual appetite, but not just women, but pretty much it's out of control. Period. If they're not humping women, they be humping something else.
Mm-hmm. And what
You
I
know.
mean by doing harm is that a lot of guys are parroting these
Uh,
perverts narratives. They're actually absorbing, like say the weaker men, the weaker would be men are
uh,
parroting these perverts narratives. Like it means everything to these weaker males to be viewed as siding with them. It means so much to these weaker males to do that. They don't, as you said, they don't think for themselves. I'm concerned about that. Like a perfectly decent young person might have a hiccup in a relationship and he becomes embittered, and then next thing you know, he's listening to the manosphere and he's being brainwashed with these poisonous thoughts, and it goes from there. Does he become then another predator, or is he just entertaining the fact that, okay, I heard something that satisfies the fact that I was rejected by somebody I wanted? I don't know how this works. You know what I mean? But we do need to be able to follow their patterns. I agree with that. The pattern is significant. I agree with that.
this is the problem I have with absentee fatherhood, and I talked about how devastating it is to us because these boys don't have fathers. They look for a father until they find one. Even up to the age of 30, there's 40-year-old guys out here still looking for a father. Seriously. This is where
Yeah.
you're getting the 30-year-olds with these 15, 16-year-old mentalities. They're looking for a father figure. This is why they're identifying with Kevin Samuels, identifying with
Mm-hmm.
alpha male strategies, because these guys are old
Mm-hmm.
enough to be the father. They're looking for a father figure because they don't have one in their
Yeah.
lives. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And when you pass 30 and you're looking for a father, man, it's bad at that point. I don't think there's any fixing you or any going back. You just, you're on the other side. You're gone. And I really blame absentee fathers. This is destroying us with these fathers not taking care of these boys, not raising these boys. It's destroying our youth. And now it's
Well,
also affecting the young girls.
of course. How do we begin to? I don't even know how to say it. It's important that fathers are viewed as, a moral presence of responsibility in their child's life, and that message is being thrown by the wayside, right? But that's the key. Fathers because believe it or not, children look at their fathers as if they're God. You know, they are the chief influencer. Okay. More so, I mean, the mothers are important, don't get me wrong. However, that father, that presence of masculinity, everything stops when he speaks, and he absorbs everything that you say. When you're a child, you absorb everything your father says, good, bad, and everything in between. And it is up to an adult male to take seriously the responsibility of how they influence their children. And I don't know what it's going to take for them to realize that and practice it, you know.
Right, and then here you go, right? It's killing two birds with one stone, because the boys learn about who they are through the father, and the girls also learn from the father. They get to see what a good man is. They get to learn what a bad man is. They learn. They get the courage and the strength to say no. Right? Their fathers teach them all of these types of things. So when you take the father out the house, you're hurting both of the children, the boy and the girl, because the boy and the girl got very important things that they need to learn from the father. So now the girl don't know what a good man is. She don't know how to recognize a good man. Her mother's trying to do the best she can, but she doesn't have any example. She doesn't have a working model.
Yeah.
So she don't know.
A point of reference, exactly.
Right, exactly. Right, and she doesn't have a father sitting her down like, look, baby girl, this is the way boys think. This is what I want you to stay away from. When you hear a boy talking like this, I want you to go in opposite way. She doesn't have that. She doesn't have that sit down with her father to where he's teaching her about boys and how boys really think. So you take that away from her when the father's no longer in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So
how would you
you
say,
don't destroy both children.
How would you say that a father should communicate those warnings to his daughter without scaring her to death? Because some men, they go hard in the paint with it, right? They say, you know, this what they want to do to you, and then he goes explicit. You know, I would encourage men to, if they're going in the event that they take on the responsibility to warn their children about the realities of life, to conduct the conversation in a way that they can understand it without frightening them. You know, it's your goal is to inform them, not to frighten them. You know,
I think what you got
that's your goal.
I think what a father has to do is you have to gauge what type of mental your daughter has. She has one of those tough mentals, you can probably get away with some of that. But if she's very feminine, no, you have to be more delicate the way you talk to her. You understand what I'm saying? So I think it's up to the father to figure out what type of daughter he has, so he'll know how to approach her and teach her.
You can't paint a broad brush across how you communicate with your children. You have to consider the individuality. That's good.
Right.
Yeah, and not to mention, I think those fathers that do that, instead of sprinkling a little bit every day in their conversation and they're interacting with the world, he's trying to shove all this information all at once into her.
I know, right? At Thanksgiving dinner, he just tell you all the horrors of the world.
And believe it or not, some of these fathers are scared to death too, because they see what's out here, and they try to give their daughter everything all quick because they feel that they don't have much time, and they scared to death too, because they see, if I had a daughter, I would be frightened at what's out here right now. And I would be trying my best to teach her everything in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Everything. Because I'm scared to death of what she might run into out here now. These boys out here are messed up in some special kind of way.
Yeah.
I mean, they're animals. They're biting women's faces off. They have no respect, no regard. They're knocking women over the head with skateboards, shooting babies. I mean, they've just lost it.
Yeah.
And so our father
my
today,
father aged himself from worry, you know. Yeah, it's true. Fathers are worried.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
my
happened to my friend
grandfather was
Gary.
seeing it 40 years back. That's why he was trying to teach my mother as much so she can do things on her own because he didn't believe that there were any good enough men out there she can depend on. And once he's gone, what? So he tried to teach her everything she needed to know.
Now, my father never
Yeah,
specific. Well, we have another panelist. I've said enough. I'm sorry. Go ahead, babe.
Hey T Washington, sorry.
No, it's
I'm
cool. I'm
froze.
listening. I'm listening. Go ahead.
What's up, brother T? Long time.
Hey, what's happening, brother? Long
What's
time.
up?
You know,
Where you been
here.
at, bro? Getting that money?
Yeah, man. 6 days a week. Damn near close to 70 hours a week. They got to take care of the kids. You know what I'm talking about? So,
I hear you.
you know,
It's an honorable thing, my brother. Go ahead, Mello. You can talk. That's T, man. You know he one of the he just ain't been here in a while.
Yeah, it's rewarding to have for a child to have in their memory, my father worked hard is a very noble thing. I hope you remain encouraged because your children, what's a beautiful thing? I remember a man was complaining about how much he worked. And I said, when your children look at you, do they smile? And he said, yeah, they climb all over me. I said, that's why you're working. You're working because they will appreciate you for it. It's not about it's really not about it. Now, if you're capable of making your livelihood easier on you, that all well and good. But that livelihood that you pursue is solely based in making sure those children are comfortable so that they can grow to make you comfortable. Because if they
but
resent their father, mm, trust and believe there's a lot of people that resent their fathers and they just leave them alone to die, and that doesn't happen. That doesn't have to
if I
happen,
can
I should
add to
say.
that,
Yeah.
one of the reasons, I'm sorry, one of the reasons why I work hard. I mean, this might sound a little different. Um, I had my time. I'm still young enough to like enjoy myself and kind of do what I want to do. But the main reason why I do what I gotta do, and I go hard is because this world is crazy as hell, and I gotta prepare my son for it. Due to the relationship with me and his mother, I did miss out on a lot of his earlier time, uh, due to courts and all of that kind of stuff, and disagreements. And so I have a lot of catching up to do. And he's old enough, and he's at a point where he's ready to come with me. I tried to get him early, but now he's ready to come with me. So there's a whole, because it was so much time missed out that I could have gave him young. I have no choice but to work the extra hours, and you know what I'm saying. I'll sleep when I'm dead. You know what I'm saying. I don't know. I love my son more than I love myself, and I wish it was a little different where I got the opportunity to teach him what I wanted
Hmm.
to teach him when he was younger, but due to the situation, it turned out this way. But I'm glad that even though we live in a tough environment, I've been fortunate that he's a pretty good kid. I mean, to live in that area, not where I am. I'm working on getting him with me, but to live in that area and be the type of kid he is, I am very very blessed. Because for
Hmm.
years, that's a thing I've been worried about. I mean, the streets having an influence. But
Yeah.
I think I did play kind of a role because even though I work a lot, I mean I do, we communicate on the phone, and if things go wrong, I will leave work right away and go right there and handle whatever needs to be handled.
Hmm.
So I think that's part of it. But I don't know. That's just my little 2 cents into it.
Washington, believe it or not, our children are the key to our immortality. We can't physically live forever, but spiritually we can through our children. And it would behoove us to treat them right and do what we can to
That's
positively
why I do what I
influence
do.
how they see life. That's right. So
That
I'm glad you
that's
shared that.
exactly
Thank
why I
you.
do what I do. I'm sorry, but go ahead.
Yeah, I got an acronym for the word black, y'all. You want to hear it? I always try to give something unique to every panel I join, if possible. But let me know when you're ready to hear it.
Go for it. Go for it.
My mother thought it
Uh-huh.
was kind of quirky. The word black as an acronym could be B is for bold, L is for lovely, A is for articulate, C is for competent, and K, dare I say, is for kinky. Now, you take that how you want to take it, but it's cute.
All right.
My
All right.
mother
All
was like,
right. All
Yeah, I
right.
can dig it.
why K gotta be for
Feeling that.
kinky? I said,
Feeling that.
I said
Feeling
that's
that.
I don't know.
I'm feeling it.
Oh,
Mm.
and I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, no, go ahead. I was just laughing.
No, I wanted to also add a good chunk of the time I was away from my son before I became a truck driver. I worked in education, so in what they call a special ed class, where kids are classified, um, and it's usually just discipline issues. It's never really, almost never really a learning situation, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah,
So,
that's what Dr. Umar Johnson talks about.
and he's absolutely right with that. Now,
Hmm.
the thing that made one of the things that made it even tougher being away from my son was I'm working with other people's kids, and a lot of them sometimes don't have their parents in their life, or they're going through a really rough situation at home, and a lot of them, they come to school looking forward to seeing you, even though some of them are behavior problems and all of that. Once they know you care, some of the toughest kids in the damn world, when they know you care, you're going to see a different side of them. So I kind of was like a extended, well, or a father figure to a lot of others,
Hmm.
uh, and that would always remind me even more of my son. So working there was rewarding, but it was also very depressing because I would constantly worry about my son, wonder about him, call his mother like, yo, let me speak to my son. There was issues there. So it was really tough. But the rewarding part that came out of working in education, a lot of those kids at the time are
Hmm.
now grown, and some of them got their own kids, and they still look at me the same way. Like they is almost is they kind of, some of them kind of act like I'm their father in a sense, and I don't even mind
That's
being that.
good.
Yeah, I don't even mind being that father figure. Like I know, you get some people out here talk about, oh, them ain't my kids and all that. I don't. That's sucker shit to me. I'm not saying that all of us men should embrace all kids or whatever, but what I am saying is being around kids who don't have that support system, or who feel like they don't have nobody, and the impact I saw that I can have on my life. Fuck it, give all the kids to me. Excuse my, I'm sorry, ladies, for the language, but
I
like
actually,
when it,
I absolutely. Well, we all impart passionate expressions. K can also stand for kinetic energy for those who want to be proper with it. It doesn't have to stand for kinky. It could stand for kinetic energy. I just wanted to be comical because so people can remember it. A lot of times our people remember things that are humorous. But Mr. Washington, what I would like to ask you, what is it that you believe is hindering black men from your mindset that if it's a child, you you have a sense of responsibility whether or not it's your child. And the second question is, how can men make peace with the mothers of their children so that she doesn't enact vengeance tactics, tactics of
I
vengeance,
got
where it's like you can't talk to him. No, no, you know what I mean?
you.
Like,
I've
there are
been there.
mothers,
Oh,
right?
I've been
So
there.
So in hindsight, what would you say would have been more effective to for her to let that guard down, because it's wrong for a mother to deny the father access to his child. That's wrong. That's absolutely wrong. That's immoral, as a matter of fact. What would you say could be a strategy that men could undertake to make and I'm not talking about kissing butt. I'm not talking about that.
No,
I'm
no,
talking
no.
about,
I understand what you're saying.
yeah,
I
what
understand what
would
you're
you
saying.
do different so that she could have just chilled out and just allowed you access to your child in his younger years?
Well, that's kind of a difficult question to answer because now I'm not going to paint her as this monster, even though there's some things that should have been different. Um, being a man, I don't feel comfortable just saying, oh, she. I can't do that. Even if some things might lead in that direction, that's my son's mother. And for me to demonize her or say too much about her, part of me feels like I'm disrespecting him. So I kind of try to keep a balance with that whole thing. In hindsight though, um I guess because I think one of the things that added to our problems was me working a lot. Um, is after we broken up. When we were together, everything was cool. It was no issues with our child. It's when we broke up and she moved out of town. That's when things started to like get worse. But it's really hard to answer that question because in some ways I did try my best to work that out. But then in other ways, I look at different times where maybe I should have put in a little more effort to go out there more. But then that would mean having to go through her, depending on what her mood was and all. So it's really hard to answer that. I would have to really think about that.
That's understandable. Thank you for your time. That's understandable. Absolutely understandable, because it's so difficult to deal with a vengeful woman that it's actually reasonable to walk away. And I don't like saying that. I don't like saying that it's reasonable to walk away from a difficult woman. However, for your own sanity, how good are you going to be later if she made you crazy now? So sometimes it is sensible to walk away for a period of time. However, when you think about it, you might be able to tell us later, what some type of advice you could give to brothers that are facing a vengeful mother of their child, you know.
I got you. Oh, now the other thing you mentioned something about the kids and uh you mentioned something about I guess the way I view dealing with kids that are not mine, something like that, and how other men. I forgot how you asked that question.
I'm listening. You got it. You
No,
remember. I'm listening.
oh,
Go ahead.
okay.
Say what your heart speaks.
All right. I guess one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about that is when I was younger, I was kind of a troubled child, and it was neighbors and stuff that didn't want me around. They had their good reasons, but then there were certain adults in the community. I don't know what the hell they saw in me, but they would pull me to the side and talk to me. On top of the fact that in school there were certain teachers. Again, I don't know what the hell they saw in me, but they would take that extra time to talk to me. You don't have to be like this, you know. You can be blah blah blah. Little encouraging things and doing the extras, and it finally kind of broke through the shell I had, and it played a big role. All of these adults outside of family. I mean, I had a good family, but
Mm-hmm.
people from the outside seeing something in me, uh, and it
Now,
you know.
may I ask
Go ahead.
before you go on, what statement s- is stuck to your chest the most out of all those people? Um, w- what statement was made to you at the right time and moment of your life that stuck to your chest, and you was like, "Wow, I guess I am something remarkable,
Mm.
and I should, try to do right." What stuck to your chest? What was the message? The one sentence, the one phrase, the one sit down. What experience impacted you the most to for you to consider, yeah, I'm worth acting right. I should act right. I'm not an animal. I'm not an animal. I should act right. You know what I'm saying?
I got you. Um, it wasn't really one thing. It was kind of small pieces of a lot of different things, and it mostly centered about around like kind of manning up, being a man about yours. Like the life is gonna, be tough and whatever. But a lot of the men who pulled me to the side, I mean, it was women too, but it was mainly the men who kind of told me in their own ways that you gotta be tougher than this situation. And on top of that, learning about history, learning about Malcolm, and it made me look at myself a little different. But a lot of it was basically being tougher than the situation. This men are built to overcome shit like that. Excuse my
Hmm.
language. And it kind of helped me move forward. So when times were tough moving forward, I was able to suck it up and push through because of these men and what they would say. And I
Yeah.
kind of embraced it.
All right. That's word. You know what? The channel host, what he had shared earlier made me cringe. People don't know what it's like to be held above somebody's shoulders who's stronger than them and then thrown to the concrete. It's like, and then he was talking about the PSI, the pound, the amount of pressure it takes to take a punch and
Pounds
everything.
per square inch, yeah.
Yeah, women, yeah, there's some strong women out there, of course. However, but it's nothing like the responsibility that a man has to carry on his shoulders. It's I won't say it's a burden because there is glory attached to it when you overcome adversity and
Yeah.
tragedy and all this stuff. I won't say it's a burden because when you come out at the other end, there is glory. However, what you have to go through to be a man is no picnic. It's no joke. And it made me cringe, because I have a son. I have a son, and I cannot comprehend what it would be like if he was in a fight to where somebody that was bigger than him, just body slammed him on the concrete. And that's the type of stuff that these boys won't tell their mother. He won't tell me that he was in a fight.
Oh
He'll
no,
just come
no. And
home
I wouldn't
with
blame
his
him. I wouldn't
ribs
blame him.
all messed up, and I'm just fixing him his meal, and I'm just like, "How was your day?" And he's just like, "I'm all right." You know what I'm saying? And that's the burden of a man. It's like he has to go through life saying, "I'm all right," knowing damn well he's facing the fire every day. And it's a my message is this: women should consider being agreeable first. Don't automatically, and when I say agreeable, I mean you instinctively know if that man means you well, if that man means you good and no harm. Now, once you have, you know, certified in your brain, that okay, this is not a harmful man, and he's coming to me on a quote unquote panel and he's having a conversation with me, don't automatically attack that man as if he means you harm. You don't know what he has to go through just by being a man. Just chill out. That's the message I want to send to women. Just chill out. Don't be do you realize, and I'm getting emotional right now, do you realize there are women, and I favor women because I am a woman, but there are women that are feminizing men through their
Oh,
Coddling.
I agree. That's
Yeah,
the whole thing right there.
they're using argumentative tactics that are intentionally to feminize the man that is expressing his frustration. That is a fucking evil tactic. Okay, excuse my language. That's an evil tactic. And I'm not saying that I haven't done it, okay? But when I realize what it is, okay? When I realize that, wow, I am so compromised in my spirit that I didn't choose to listen to him as a frustrated person. No, what I decided to do was, no, I ain't gonna let you quote unquote win. Women, we are focused on winning when it's really a man's position to win so that he can bring us with him. That is what is up. Now, y'all pray for me because I have been trained differently. I've been trained to win. Okay. I've been trained to win.
Mhm.
However, I realized as a woman in a position where if my son encountered a young lady he would want to court and then marry, how would I want her to behave? I would want her to take consideration of his manhood. And that's what I'm saying. I want us women to take consideration of manhood. That's a very powerful position in existence. It's very powerful. And Max, that's why it made me almost cry. It's like, yeah, a man
If I
has
can
to get
add
slammed
something,
on the a man has to get slammed on the concrete, go home and act like nothing happened. But a woman, she gets slammed on the concrete and she go home like, you know what they did to me? You know what I'm saying? That's the fucking difference. A
I got
man is not allowed to cry and complain about the burden of developing his responsibility. We women, we have it. We can complain. We are allowed to complain. Men, if they complain, they're viewed as weak. If women complain, we're viewed as just being women. And so I just want women to consider that men experience a burden heavier than we can carry. I just want women to remember that whenever a guy snaps off on you, just ask him. It's like, why would you say that? As opposed to you fuck ass nigga, and all that stuff. Just why would you say that? Because maybe he's expressing frustration from being a man. Okay, I'm
and
done.
I'll do you one
Thank you.
better. I'll do you one better. If a man reacts that way, just my opinion, my experience, I would suggest give him his space. Don't say nothing to him. No problem. Just give him his space. Let him, whatever he's going through.
Uh-huh.
Because if he's where he needs to be mentally, he will come to you and apologize, assuming that he's wrong in whatever took place. Because sometimes when we're upset, we're going through things, the best thing you can do is just give us a little bit of space and let us kind of just even out. Because a lot of times, in my experience, uh, a woman's intentions would be good in trying to help fix the situation, and sometimes uh, it can sometimes make it worse. So just let him cool down. Just let him cool down, and a lot of times he'll come around and he'll kind of self-correct. That's if
Yeah.
he's where he's supposed to be mentally.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of times women challenge a man without realizing that you're not supposed to do that. You should just give him his space. If you have to assert your concern about an infraction upon your sense of spirit, how would you suggest that women, because you said give him his space, what if he takes his frustrations out on her in an unreasonable manner? How should she handle that?
Now, in that case, I can't sit up here and talk about giving him space. There's once you cross the line of disrespect, um, I I can't on like be honest with myself and tell a woman give him space. No, I mean I came up in a family with women who didn't play that. I mean, no matter how strong the man was, if they feel like he was wrong, whatever they were going through, the women in my family would not bite their tongue. Um, if he's wrong, only thing I could say is, hey, check him. Uh, hopefully y'all have the type of relationship
What
where
are the perimeters of check 'em? Because that's evasive. That's kind of like that's
well,
widespread.
it's so many different. It's hard to say one specific thing because there's so many different scenarios and levels to what could be going on. So check 'em could mean anything. I would say, of course, you demand respect no matter what. He's supposed to respect you even during y'all tough times. But if he crosses that line, I wouldn't tell a woman to bite her tongue. That don't mean get all loud and crazy, but you know,
Hmm.
however you feel the need to correct that situation, you know, it's hard to say. It's really hard to
I
say.
get it. That's good insight though, because that's good insight. It really is.
I mean, because you for example, I don't know you personally,
Hmm.
but I am old enough and I have enough experience to assume that you're not the type of woman who gonna sit there and let some dude talk to you any kind of way.
I'm not a pushover.
Yeah, that's kind of the energy I get from you, and that's not a bad thing. Now, if a man comes home from work, he frustrated, he going through it, blah blah blah. You see a little tense. I wouldn't really ask him too much about work and all that. Maybe a little UI, give him his space, a little like that. But if he cross you, of course, you deal with that the best way you see fit. Hopefully, it's in a way where y'all can both, come to the right solution
Yeah.
when it's done.
Well, what's important is
Can I?
that. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm,
I was about
I'm
to
sorry.
talk
Can I
about
jump in?
compatibility, but go ahead,
Yeah, I
babe.
just wanted to jump in real quick. Y'all having a powerful discussion, but let me say something about a man bringing home his frustrations. You should never bring frustrations from the outside into your house. You owe it to yourself and to your family to exercise maximum self control. You don't bring problems that you deal with outside into your house. That's not fair to your wife and your children. If that's what you're doing, then you're unfit to be a husband or a father. That's just something you just don't do. There's no excuse for that. Your wife and your children did not bring that trouble to you. It is unfair to bring that to them in that house. Your house is supposed to be a salubrious environment for your women or your wife and your children. By you bringing in outside influences that have made you mad, that shows that you have a lack of self control and a lack of care about the people that you say you love in that house.
Hmm.
So, under no circumstances should you allow anything that affects you out here to follow you home and into your place of sanctuary, where your woman and your children rest.
I agree with that. I mean, there's levels. I mean, there's the type of guy who would come home and take his frustration out. Now, that type of dude is unacceptable. But there are times where you may have some situations going on outside. You're not gonna come home to your wife and kids, cussing everybody out, and breaking things. I ain't talking about like that. But just time to unwind and get the outside off of you. To sit back, get some air, whatever, to unwind before you interact with your family. Every once in a while, I believe, because none of us are perfect, and we're gonna have days where the outside world, one way or another, has gotten you in a certain mood. And once you get to your sanctuary, you unwind, and then
Hmm.
you get with your family. Like,
Exactly.
You
One
know,
of the principal
and
examples is a 30 there's a period of time that he and I both designated that would give him his decompression experience.
yeah, that's a good
And
word right there.
yeah,
Decompression.
so yeah, there and that's what
um,
both of them have to agree upon. It's like, well, what is it that you require to experience decompression when you come into our sanctuary? And we'll give it to you because you have provided this for us and we want you to be rewarded for your work, you know.
and I'm not saying that I haven't been frustrated. I've been married for 19 years, right? But what I would do and what I did is when I got to a situation like that and I was so frustrated, I would just stay out for a while. I'd go somewhere, maybe have a cup of tea, sit there for a while until I calm down. Or if I felt that I couldn't calm down, I'll call my wife up and say, "Hey, listen, babe, I'm dealing with some things I don't want to bring home. I'm gonna stay in a hotel tonight, and I'll be home in the morning." She come to the hotel. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't going to take nothing out on my wife. That's who I share a house with, right? I'm definitely not going to let something that is foreign to her interfere with our relationship and the sanctity of our home. So I would just either stay out, go have a cup of tea somewhere, sit in the park for a little while until I get my mind right, and then I would go home.
Yeah, a lot of men do that. They just sit down and watch people go by while they
Yeah,
decompress. Yeah.
that's good therapy, believe it or not. Just sitting back and just watch people go to and from. It puts you in a state of normalcy. It helps your mind snap back to normal. Seeing people going to and from, mothers out with their kids, fathers out with their kids, people driving back and forth. It puts your mind back in a state of normalcy. That's actually good therapy. Also, used to feed the birds too. That helps too.
Yeah, I got a place that I'm staying at only because of this tree that's outside the window. I had to come to grips with that because a lot of people were chastising me about why are you still at the address? That you could actually take your veterans benefits and acquire some condo or house or whatever. Why are you still paying rent someplace that is not necessarily beneath me, but that and I gave the excuse, oh, it holds all these memories, and I'm just trying to fix my mistakes in my mind. I came up with all these emotional excuses. But as corny as it sounds, okay, there's this tree outside this window that represents something that I did that humanized me. Okay. So whenever I'm disturbed about my behavior, whenever I'm frustrated with it, whenever I'm upset, I look at this tree outside my window and I think to myself, we've been through a lot together. If I could, I would take this tree with me wherever I go. I would take this tree with me because it's just it's weathered, right? There was a storm of hail, 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 you know, that happened. And at first it was a young, fragile little tree. And then there was this hailstorm that happened one particular year and it beat the tree up. And I looked at it and I was like, I can relate to that. I can relate to feeling beat up in life and still grow. And that's just, this is a vulnerable confession right now. This is like I'm more into nature than people, right? So that's my confession. I'm more into nature than people. I think
Me too.
that, yeah, I am. I'm just more into nature than people, and so I can relate to just wanting to sit down for a minute and decompress, observing people go to and fro and having nature surround me. And it's important. Can I live in a high-rise condo looking over buildings? Hell yeah. But that's not what I want. I want God's presence. I want God's presence. That's what I want. And so I guess that's why I stick around. It's like a perfect combination of memories and reconciliation and this doggone tree outside that is just, you know, visually showing me that you can overcome adversity no matter what it is because God deems it so. And I just think life is beautiful. And I just want everybody to be encouraged. Now, when it comes to people that can't help themselves but to be evil and a demon that molests children and that pervert that did that terrible heinous thing to that child, you know, I'm in favor of execution of people that can't control themselves from their torment. Okay. I'm in favor. It's like, okay, so since your mind is so corrupt with, the imaginings that everybody should suffer at your whim, then maybe we don't need you around. Maybe we don't need you around and you got to go. There's a lot of evidence against that polite guy. There's a lot of official evidence. This is not hearsay. There's official evidence. There's scientific, evidence that can't be disputed. That lawyer should be ashamed of himself. How dare some law firm take up his case? They're just trying to get his money knowing that he's going to be convicted, and it's just really, the only thing the lawyers can do is stretch it out. The evidence is clear that there is semen connected to the incident. Case closed. So why these lawyers are taking up the case, I'll tell you why. It's because they're going to get paid off his stupidity. Okay? That's what they're going to do. That's what they do. And it's despicable that there are professions that exist in that fashion where it's like, hey, let me go ahead and convince this guy that I can, solve his problem. When in fact, I'm just going to get him to pay me an enormous amount of money for his eventual fate of serving time in jail. But if it was up to me, execution would be appropriate. You don't harm a child. That's that little girl has to live in her mind with that tragedy for the rest of her life. He harmed a child. That deserves execution.
Yeah, and he destroyed her trust in men. Okay, because her mother trusted him, she trusted him, and then he goes and do this. She's gonna believe men are liars because he lied to her. He lied to her mother.
He lied to the mother, Dame. He lied to the
Lied to
mother.
the mother.
I mean, that's a predator tenfold and more.
Yeah.
That means he intended. I mean, he didn't just say. You see, this is what this. Look, he didn't say, "Oh, let me take her out to get something to eat," or whatever the case may be, on a whim. He intentionally tried to sexually. He man, look,
He
he's
was
sick. He's sick. He's
he was
sick.
also
He's
testing how
sick.
far he can go. If the mother had absolutely put her foot down, he would have backed up. Or if the child had no, I'm gonna go back up and meet my mother. She been very determined, to go back, but she trusted him. Okay, we're gonna meet the others and we're gonna get something to eat on the way. You know, so he pushed it. He pushed it. Okay, soon as it got in the elevator, said, and they got down the line. Okay, they not here. Are they supposed to be going to the after party? Well, go to the after party, and I'm gonna get you something to eat on the way. Oh, okay. She's 14. She's probably thinking it's a party. You know, what kid wouldn't like to go to a
She
party
trusted him.
with him? Mm-hmm. Because she's
Now,
like, oh, I'm
now,
supposed to go to a party?
now, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people want to blame the mother you
Yeah.
know. However, the circumstances would insinuate that the mother never had intentions of him being alone with her. See, there's no record of him ever having been alone with her.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first time that he was ever alone with her. People have to recognize that before they start accusing the mother of being
Yeah.
irresponsible. That
So,
child had
mhm,
never been alone with him until that night.
mhm. Yeah. So he didn't have a chance to groom her and stuff like that. So he probably had a year of frustration. How am I get to this little girl? How am I get this girl? She looking all cute. How am I get this girl? And an opportunity kind of presented himself. And it's like, let me see how far I can go. And first, he had to
She was
persuade her
supposed to be right, Dame. She was supposed to be in the
downstairs
lobby,
in the dining room at the in the
just right.
with a bunch of other people, people that her and her mother trusted, the group.
Yep, just like always, they were supposed to be in a group where everybody had their eye on everybody, and then
Mhm,
he found a way to snake his ass into getting her by herself because
mhm.
he's a pervert
And you
that
see,
deserves
a whole
execution.
year. That shows how long they will wait to get what they want.
Say
Disgusting
say
pedophiles.
that part. They will wait. You're right. They will wait.
Because
They will
they want
wait to
you to
get their
get
victim.
they want you to get your trust. Because it's not just the child get groomed, the parents get groomed too. It's just that he hadn't had an opportunity. And I guess that year was too much for him. He used to have him whatever he wants right away, I guess. And he had to wait out a year and he see how far he could go. Okay. I'm gonna take
One
her
quick.
So,
downstairs to meet the group to
Dame,
eat.
Dame, what do you think about polygamy? Do you think that it's an opportunity to be a pervert, or is there like from what I understand, polygamy is where you have enough to care for a village, right? That includes wives if you acquire them. That is the wholesome ideal. But what's happening is these guys are exercising their perversion under the umbrella of polygamy. Do you think that I'm wrong in that assessment?
Um, no, I don't think you're wrong because from what I spoke to a few Africans where it's in their religion and in their culture where they can do that. This one didn't. He was fine with just one wife, but he explained all the prep. You got to be able to afford to take care of all your wives. The wives don't take care of you. You take care of the wives. And it's not just money,
Right.
it's
They got
time
them
and
working.
energy. Hmm.
They got them working and prostituting themselves to take care of his lifestyle. That's not polygamy. That's
That's
ex
not
that's
polygamy.
that's not polygamy. And that's a
Mhm.
pervert exploiting women. And there's a difference.
Yeah, that's a pimp. That's basically what they are. They're pimp. If they were doing it right way, they'd be working their tail off to take care of all these women and their children and have the time after work to give them all equal time to him. Yeah, because and then they all got to have uh things of equal value. Well, according to him, exact same thing. So one woman like this particular type of dress, then all four women and the concubines would have that same exact dress. So we're talking about something like a $2,500 dress. Then you got to get six $2,500 dresses.
But they don't look at it like that. They exercise their perversion,
Yeah,
you know.
they see the outer part. It's that little fantasy world of, ooh, I get a lot of women. I get four wives and as
Hmm.
many side women as I want. Yeah, it's an opportunity to
Hmm.
practice.
And you know what else? you know what else, Dame? A lot of times I've been known to say that I blame rap music, um, which is it's an influence. That news report that was shown earlier, the news report called he was titled an influencer, right?
Uh-huh.
Influencer,
Uh-huh.
and that stuck out to me. It's like, these men um are being influenced to exercise their perversions
Mm-hmm.
as acceptable. And what gave them permission to think that it's okay to exercise their perversions? I blame not necessarily just rap music. There's a compilation of all types of
The
things
fame, the money,
that, yeah, all types of
other
things.
examples of it.
Yeah, the show offness. It's like, okay, in order for me to beat a man as ugly as he is, in order for him to beat a man, for them to see past how ugly and shoe bitten I look, okay, in order for them to see past that, all I need is some money. So how am I gonna get some money? Well, the rap songs are telling me that there are young girls out here that are willing to exploit themselves because they didn't have a father in their lives. So I'm going to take advantage of that and take it, and overwork the deal. It just it's
Pimp culture.
yeah, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, T. Washington, sorry we ran over you. Yeah, wanted to say anything on this?
On a polite situation.
Mm-hmm.
All right, hold on. Let me turn this truck off real quick. Um,
Okay. Okay.
the first thing I want to say about that is I feel like in the black community where we are dropping the ball, where we have dropped the ball is any type of oh fuck. Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Take your
Oh,
time.
okay. Okay, I'm cool. Nah, I had it all the speaker connected to the truck. All right. Where we drop the ball and
Mm-hmm.
where we continue to drop the ball when it comes to that is these people who touch kids, molest kids, or whatever feel safe in our community. If you're a child molester, you're any kind of pervert, pedophile type, you should be terrified to be in certain areas because the men of the community, especially the people of the community, in my opinion, any community that I would run or I'm in charge of
Mm-hmm.
or have influence in, people like that would be terrified to come around. Um, Not because we're big and bad, but if you're touching the babies, your life has no value. And before we
Mm-hmm.
take your life, we're going to make you feel every inch of whatever until you want to die before we kill you. I
Mm.
have an extreme view of people who touch kids and do things like that. That's kind of all I want to say about that.
Okay.
I liken it akin to, right, merchants who place signs right in front of their store. Shoplifters will be prosecuted. Okay. We as a people have to actually announce fiercely that people who violate children will be dealt with like a goddamn dog. That with
Okay.
rabies. They will be dealt with like a dog with rabies. We have to make this because I heard the whole Sonetta thing about how it would appear that he gave an allowance. Like, okay, I'm gonna act like this brother ain't the monster that he is, type of thing. And I bl- I don't want to say blame, but I liken it akin to the fact that we haven't placed a sign upon our people that we will deal with you if you violate these specific rules, including violating children. It's almost as if there's no sign, there's no communication, there's no narrative that enforces the understanding amongst these perverts that, oh, there's no slick way to do what you thinking. There's no slick way to do what you thinking. You will be caught and you will be dealt with harshly, more harshly than you imagine. And we're not announcing that. And I'm just grateful for the opportunity that people are taking to expose the travesty of how Black men are saying, well, what does it matter? What does it matter? You know, that is a actual narrative I've heard on a couple of channels. And it's like, you don't care about the community anyway. So why does one little girl with her dumb ass matter? I mean, they've said hurtful things. They're harassing the mother, they're harassing the daughter. They're not holding up the fact that this behavior is not allowed. And I'm glad that we have an opportunity to announce far and wide that this behavior is not allowed across the board. It's not an income thing, it's not a race thing, it's a moral thing. This behavior is not allowed. Okay? And men, have your way with the violators. I know you will exact justice appropriately.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Okay. Okay. I missed some stuff. Okay, Mama Rain was on the part about a man will cry if he feel you can hear him, but we can't control a man's manhood and his walk in life. This is from discussion earlier when you was talking about a little boy slam. You can't imagine him being slammed to the sidewalk and him not letting you know.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. What is it? A man will cry if he feel you hear him. Okay.
In other words, he'll tell you about if he feel you hear him, but you can't control a man's manhood. You can't control how he's gonna walk. Your son walks. I feel she's saying you can't control how your son is gonna walk into his manhood. You know, but as long as he feel like you hear him, he can talk to you without you going, mother bear.
Right. You know I would want to, right? Right. You know, I'm cocking the gun. I'm like, wait a minute, who did what? Where?
Yeah. I know from experience because my mom is like that. He's
And
not
this
gonna
is
tell you
why
things,
y'all
but
don't
you.
need to know when young men go through stuff. That's why y'all don't need to know. But I'm gonna go back on mute.
See, that's not fair to a. I want. Come on, now. It's just
You,
like.
you you can't protect him. He's not a baby any longer. When he gets to the
I
point where
know.
he's not telling you about his fights, he's not a baby anymore.
I
Let him
know. I
grow up.
know. I know.
Just
I know.
just patch him up and let him tell you what he gonna tell you. Be like, "Are you okay?" And be like, "Yeah." And you can ask what happened. If you don't say anything, let it go.
I know. I know. I know.
Okay. Okay. Let me see. As a woman, I don't feel. Wait. This goes into the conversation that we had about um.
It's
Let's
not
see.
about bowing down. It's about understanding.
Yeah. But I think it's also during the part where just before y'all was talking about checking them. That conversation I had just about when you said if you cross the line, check them. But that conversation I had just before that when you was talking about that Sometimes we don't need to react to his frustration. Sometimes we need to, let him be.
One of the best gifts that I was given was I need a minute. That was very impactful for me for some reason, because prior to that it would always be a situation where I didn't consider that he had been through for the day, and in the event that we meet up and he gets home and
Well, hold on, you
and
digitizing. Repeat that again. You digitize.
okay, am I clear? Am I
Yeah.
clear now?
Yeah.
All right. When he comes home, it's important to realize that your day is not his day, and to bombard him with your stuff, right? Just because he walks in the door, all of a sudden he's bombarded with everything that's going on in the sanctuary. It's not fair. It's not considerate. It's not being considerate of the fact that he had a day outside of that sanctuary. And that's my message. It's like, consider his day outside of the sanctuary before you greet him, and that's why I was mentioning earlier how there had to be an agreement as to what he needs to decompress when he gets home. Because it's human nature to just think that, oh, you're home, okay, this is happening, blah, blah, blah. What's up, where's my attention, where, oh, I want to give you love, and just bombard them. And what they really want to do is decompress. And when you establish what he thinks is suitable to decompress, then you have that agreement, and that's just another step in getting along with each other, because the chief factor is to get along with each other for the children. That's the chief factor. And if you don't know how to communicate and establish a foundation as to how you're going to get along together, the children will peep that out and they'll become emotionally disturbed, and then we'll have another generation of fuck ups. So I just want, excuse my language, but that's the truth. It's like, we got multiple generations of people who are children of those who didn't know how to get along with one another, and they observed it, and that was their point of reference. Their point of reference was, well, I saw my mother and father do this, so therefore it must be some aspect of that I should enact in relationships. And it doesn't have to be that way. We can practice proper, respectful, considerate behaviors with one another through communication. That's why I emphasize the Dame, that's why I emphasize the acronym BLACK, being bold, being lovely, being articulate, being competent, and kinetic. I know I said kinky, I was just being funny, but kinetic. The kinetic part is very important. But I felt like people would be bored with hearing the how important it is to study what kinetic energy is. Kinetic energy is the K in the word black. Kinetic energy is very important. You already know what it is. You already know what it is, and you can, project that for peace in your home. That's the kinetic energy part. You know, yeah, I was kind of being funny when I said kinky. I was being funny because I wanted to, you
Yeah.
know, you know,
Um,
get be funny.
yeah, I got it. Okay. Okay. Now we've gone into, but if he's out of pocket, but if he's out of Kendall goes, but if he's out of pocket, yeah, give him time to cool down. But by no means should he get away with being out of pocket. You deserve respect, and if he loves and respect you, he will apologize.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
He will.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And ironically, that's the letter K that I was talking about. Yeah, I'm a very, I'm a feeling individual, even though I don't want to admit it. I am.
Okay. All right, Kendall. The only reward a good black man should be concerned about is the comfort of coming home to a good black woman who's developing their babies to their fullest potential. All
That's
right.
word. Word. That's word. Yeah.
Okay.
I endorse that fully.
Okay, let's see. Sound is like nature's in commandments with creation. People are effective and have free will. Is in commandments.
But see, I feel where he's coming from, right?
Hmm.
I tend to think as opposed to feel.
Hmm.
However, nature allows me to feel. When I encounter people, I think. When I encounter nature, I feel. And that's the difference for me.
Hmm.
You know, that's the difference for me. Nature allows me to feel. Okay. But people allow me, when I encounter people, I think. And I don't know if I can, I don't know how I can break that down to a way that is comprehensive.
Nature is your meditation.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like nature allows me to feel. Okay. And when I encounter people, I'm already hedged up. I have to think.
You become cerebral.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, okay, this is out of context. I don't know what he meant by that. Let's see. Okay. Okay, here in Mama Rain, in most uh um poly polyamorous families, there is some sex abuse. Well,
Yeah.
most
Yeah.
of
It's
them
a lot of
cultures, most of them cultures, uh, don't believe unless there's some physical reason that a woman should be turning down sex. But then again, they also said the same for the man. You know, he shouldn't be turning down sex to his woman either. You know, if it's her time and she wants sex, he better find a way to give it to her, even if he ain't up for it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to jump into that area, but yeah, I usually figure those that that somehow out of alignment with some of these cultures that have amorous, they got certain things. Like in the one where the man get to choose the woman, there's usually a problem. But in the cultures where the woman, he don't even get to choose his first wife. Man one, you don't get to choose your first wife. And then when you want to bring in another wife, your first wife got to okay the second, and so on and so forth. As you add, all of them got to be in agreement on the woman.
hmm
So, but we got a lot of these men who are thinking, I get to pick and choose, not figuring out if any of the women can deal with each other or want to deal with each other or is okay with sharing you with another woman, especially one they never met, don't know nothing about. You just all of a sudden, oh, here's wife number two. Here's wife number three. Oh, and here's wife number four. Oh, and I'm checking out these other two on the side. I'm sorry, but yeah. So I usually, hear about it more around polyamorous group that where the men do the picking of the women. Okay, y'all. What do you think about that, T. Washington?
You're
Okay.
referring to the more than one wife, that situation?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, the polygamous ones are always the more than one wife one.
I think culturally, if you're part of a certain culture and you and the women and the family members in your surrounding group have a certain cultural understanding, I think it's cool. But I think outsiders, people from outside of that culture, view it a little different, to where they put having multiple women and sex and all of that above what it really supposed to be. They'll speak one way, but they'll act another, and they're really not practicing that from a cultural perspective. So people from those cultures, I don't question, but people from over here who didn't come up in that, but then try to get down with that, I will, even though it's none of my business, I would question their motives. That's all I got to say about that.
That's right.
Okay. Now, when you was going on to, you think rap music is greatness? Mama Rangus reminded before rap music, there was rape and sexual abuse, which is true.
Oh, somebody tried to blame hip hop for something? That's when I really got to jump up in there. Who said what?
Believe that the rap music that's going on now is creating the culture and building the mindset of these men that they can just take it, or they can have anyone they want, or you know.
Okay, well, let me ask that person this question. Before rap music, I'm gonna briefly touch a few little things. In the military, when a lot of these people go across seas and they, part of war, they just take women and they do what they want to do. In these mafia movies and these Hollywood movies before hip hop, they were showing stuff like that. In reality, before hip hop, you had the Jeffrey Dahmers and the serial rapists and all of that way before hip hop. So I can't stand when people take the little negatives in hip hop and blame the youth of today from getting that from hip hop. That's just kind of disingenuous right there. And on top of that, go ahead.
The marriage rates reduced in conjunction with sexual exploitative rap music.
Hold on. Now I get what you're saying. Now let's unpack that whole thing right there. Now, when the marriage rate started to drop, keep in mind, when rap music came out, it was around 73 when it was recognized as hip hop. Now, the type of music that
I'm not talking about 1973. I'm talking
No. I'm about to put it together. I'm about to put it together, because when the marriage rate started to drop, it was around late 60s, early 70s. That's when it started to dip, and it went even farther. Hip hop had nothing to do with that. And when it comes to
1963?
No, I said late 60s, early 70s. There's some things that took place.
So 75. In 75, it started to drop. Is that fair to say?
Around that time,
all right,
it started to decline. Hip hop came out in 73, and the negative part of hip hop started in the late 80s, around 89, 90ish. No, I would argue
The
early
gangster
90s because everything before that was pretty much partying, making money. I can break dance like this, I could rap like that. In the late 80s, early 90s, that's when the streets started to be emphasized more in conjunction with the war on drugs and other and outside influences having their hand in where hip hop was going. Because you got to also keep in mind these executives and their role in this. So the marriage rate had nothing to do with hip hop. That is totally separate right there.
Okay, there's a lot of things that are separate, including the crack epic, the crack influenced uh, decade, right? There was a decade where everybody was on crack for whatever reason.
I
And
grew up around that.
yeah, and that also contributed in conjunction with the rap music that was exposed. Like, how can I put this? It was talking about how women ain't nothing but B's and H's in conjunction with the crack epidemic. It was a storm. It was a decade of a storm that changed a generation. And that's why a lot of people are disenchanted with the idea of building a family. That's my humble opinion.
Okay, and I can understand that, but keep in mind, music like that had nothing to do. If anything, most hip hop. I mean, a lot of stuff is garbage now, but most hip hop, especially during that time, was talking about what was going on. People don't make rap songs and then the culture responds to the rap songs. The rap songs reflect the times,
Nobody
and
would know what a strawberry is if it wasn't for a rap song. Rap music influence people to like, okay, I should think less than, I should devalue women because we're in a crack epidemic and this is what's happening, and it went forward from that point.
so you believe hip hop played a very huge role in the way
hip
young men
hip
view women.
hop Hip hop exploited the crack epidemic.
Oh, can you unpack that a little more? Because I mean, I could shoot that down, but I kind of, before I say something about it, I'm curious.
Not all rap. See, this is where I'm getting twisted, right? I'm making it seem like all rap music is bad, all hip hop is bad. That's not what I'm emphasizing. I'm emphasizing what is most penetrable. What had been most penetrable started with what's that young lady's name that changed her face 13 times? Lil Kim. When Little Kim had that poster, right? Um
She
and
came so late during that era.
hold,
She's like a baby
give
in
me
hip hop. But go
give
ahead.
me a moment. When Little Kim showed up with that poster, that sealed the deal in women are cool with the narrative of hip hop. Some hip hop lyrics saying that women ain't nothing but B's and H's.
Before Little Kim, there was Madonna, there was Vanity, and there were women at that time who also were what you call sexually
But
liberated.
but
Now,
but
go
there
ahead.
were no musical lyrics emphasizing that women are B's and H's,
That
perpetuating itself year after year after year.
now, all right. Before Snoop came out with that song, Snoop and Dre, I know what song you're talking about. And when that started to be talked about more, which was early 90s, are you saying that women in general and young men had a different view of women and relationships until these songs came out?
Yeah.
Are you sure you understand the question I just asked you? Before the 90s, let's say 80s, 70s, and if you look at the street culture and everything that was going on then, the music might have sounded different.
We're not talking about Jodeci, okay? We're talking about hip hop lyrics. We're talking about lyrics that said women ain't nothing but B's and H's
Okay,
and all those variants
okay.
perpetuated year after year after year. It became a trend. It became a trend. It became an okey doke trend to classify Black American women as B's and H's year after year after year in perpetuity. It was just going on year after year. And then the fact that women who were chemically addicted to this substance, they were submitting themselves to inhumane situations that sexually compromised them, that also added to the narrative that
So, so
it was just as not perfect, but it was a storm. It was a storm in a time, that decade, and I'm gonna tell you what decade I'm talking about, okay?
I
From
grew up in that
92,
area. I grew up
from
in
nine,
that era in the
right,
street. Go ahead.
right, yeah. So not, I mean, 82 to beyond, it started in 82, in my humble opinion. It started in 82. That's when men started saying to themselves, you know what, love is a figment of my imagination.
Rap
These
music
bras,
wasn't saying that in 82.
what was they saying in 82? Who were the rap artists known in 82?
Are you serious? Nobody, like, that was unheard of. Nobody talked about nothing negative. It was all partying. It was all
In
b-boying. The only
82?
thing hip, yes, absolutely, in 82. There's nobody in 82 who was talking about shooting, no guns, no I'm a thug. None of that stuff was
I'm
going
talking
on.
about the degradation. I'm
Let
not
me
talking about.
Of women.
hold on one
Hold
second.
on, y'all.
Let me jump in here for a quick second, okay? Um, Before hip hop took a turn for the worse, our music did not denigrate women in any way. I'm from that era too. I'm 54. Our music was about black love. There was nobody running around calling women bees in their music. I didn't
Absolutely.
hear
That's
it.
part of my point. Yeah.
So if you want to ask me, what really started everything was NWA. Because I remember being at a high school party, which they had back then, and when they threw on "Fuck the Police," everybody stopped for a few minutes and they were stunned at what they heard.
I
And
remember
then
that.
from that, and then
That's
from
like
that
late
point
80s.
on, right, and from that point on, everything changed. Next thing you know is women ain't nothing but bees and hoes and all this stuff. See, that was never in our music before, and so the music started glorifying the defamation of women.
All right.
So I
Now,
agree. So I agree with Mello there because I heard that. I heard the change in the actual music.
okay, and I hear you. I grew up on that. I had the music. I was surrounded by that, so I know what y'all talking about. The point that I'm making is that music wasn't making that happen. That was happening, and then the music was talking about that mindset, that new way of going about it. It wasn't the music making
It's
things
not
work
their
or
place
changing
to
Well,
things.
Okay,
actually,
okay.
it was. Wait a minute.
On
Yeah.
top
Actually,
of
it
that,
was. Wait a
on top
minute.
of that, you know who Jerry Heller is, right? The guy who produced NWA. You're
Right.
aware of that guy, right? And those people surrounding that. Around that time, and a lot of rappers were saying this around that time, when hip hop was more positive, more about black empowerment, more, partying and all of that. There was a group of executives, and this is known, and it's come out where they were intentionally pushing the negative stuff on the radio. And if you get a bunch of street dudes who come from nothing, who were talking positive, and they wouldn't give you no airplay unless you said this. Now, I'm not taking the responsibility off of the young men who made that decision, but to just point the
Mhm.
finger at hip hop and say hip hop
No,
did this.
we
And
No, we
Okay.
absolutely hold on. We absolutely can't point the finger at hip hop because at the end of the day, you're responsible for your own actions, and those are
Which is true.
decisions that. Hold on one second. Those are the decisions that you made. You didn't have to make those kinds of records. And
What,
as
a
far as him,
17, 16
listen.
year old who
As
don't know nothing
far
about life?
listen, it's for well, that's the father's fault. Where's the father?
Oh, so hip
If
hop
your
made the
son
hood the way it
if
is.
your
I see.
son if your son walking around here at 16 and don't know what's going on, that's your fault as a father.
So that's hip hop that did that.
You see, I didn't have see I was never influenced by this music because my father taught me differently.
I
Exactly.
get that. But
Okay,
hip hop did.
hold on one second, brother. Hold on, let me finish this here. Okay, so whether they was intentionally pushing bad music on the radio had nothing to do with the fact that this hip hop did actually make them do this. You know why? Because there was a pimp culture that existed long before hip hop came out. The pimp culture was in the 70s, but the pimp
I'm
culture
aware of
couldn't
that.
get right. But the pimp culture couldn't get the traction in mainstream the way it needed because you still had a lot of music that was about black love and nobody wanted to sing about bad mouthing women. So when they came out with hip hop actually assisted pimp culture to come into the mainstream. And before you know it, you had the Two Shorts talking about big pimping, calling women bees like it's going out of style, Ice Cube with the hoes, young brothers following him because the fathers ain't doing nothing to get into these young boys' head and straighten them out.
That's all I'm
So
saying.
so
Yeah.
hip hop created this environment, is what you guys are saying.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Very interesting.
Can I
Very
say
With the
something
interesting.
help,
now?
check this out. It created this environment with the help of the fathers who didn't do nothing to stop it.
Very interesting. All right. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Now, okay, this is what I want to say on it. Okay. Yeah, okay. You're right in the sense that this was happening where NWA was and they wrote about it. But it was over there where they live and grew up. The rest of the country did not know this side of it unless they had relatives there. It wasn't until the music that we start hearing about this stuff going on in places like California and out west. And so we being exposed to it, some of the boys emulated. If nobody put the smack down on the music, because
All
I
right. And
remember my
Wait,
uncle
Dame,
coming
I don't
in and making
understand.
copies of the song because they in the country little town we heard there was no explicit warning on these records and stuff like that. So he managed to get it, and because we was always hearing the radio version. So all of a
okay,
sudden, our community was flooded with the explicit, and they started thinking it was cool, and they started
I
emulating
remember that era.
it. Mm-hmm.
Now let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the distribution company, and I'm not taking no, because I already know y'all already made that argument.
Mm-hmm.
The people who was responsible for pushing that and suppressing other voices, because there were also rappers who called that out, KRS-One and a whole bunch of other people who was calling it out, saying, hold up, we need some balance here. We can't just be talking about one thing and then pushing all the other rappers out. So majority of the hip hop community was kind of pushed out in that small segment that became popular coming from the West Coast, was backed by by big corporations funded by people like Jerry Heller and them. So most
Yeah,
of
but
hip hop wasn't even about that.
all
So to
that is
That's
point the
true.
irrelevant.
finger at
We
hip hop
heard
itself
both of
is
them.
an
All
issue, and
that's
that's a
irrelevant.
problem.
Hold on one second. All that is
No, it's
irrelevant.
not irrelevant. No,
It
it's
is. You
not
know
irrelevant.
why? You
To
talk
paint
about
a
calling
whole
something out.
culture
You
something
talk
else
about calling
because of
something.
a
You talking
small
about calling
percentage
something
of
out.
somebody else's money
You
behind it,
talking about.
like
You
that's
talking about.
crazy.
That don't mean shit, bro.
Oh, it definitely means shit because most
No,
of the
it
hip
don't
hop
because
community
when
wasn't
you
about
talking
that.
about calling something out, you talking about calling something out. The father should have been calling this out in the house. My
So
father
now
called
hip
this
hop
out.
father, now we
My
jumping
father
all over the
called this
place.
out
Like,
in the house. So me and my brothers, right? We had an understanding about what was going down. So when this music came out, it did not influence us.
I have a question.
The fathers
the
need to be
question.
calling this out
Music
of the
don't make
house.
people sell drugs.
Washington.
No, I'm
Washington.
just sick
Go
and
ahead.
tired
Go
of
ahead, man.
dudes making excuses and
They
It ain't
trying
no
to say
excuse. I grew
it's
up in it.
somebody
I can
else's
speak
fault.
about it because I
You're
know
always
it. I'm
trying to say
from
it's
okay,
that.
somebody
okay,
else.
That's why I
gentlemen,
can speak on it.
Just
I'm
because you're
from that.
speaking
you
about it
all,
doesn't
you
mean that it's
your
not an
brothers,
Okay,
excuse.
you
gentlemen,
all
I'm
have
calm
from
down.
your
We
that.
can't make
brothers,
out what y'all saying.
your
No, hold on for a
brothers.
second, lady. Hold on for a second. I'm sick and tired of this. Just because you're speaking about it doesn't mean it isn't an excuse. I'm sick and tired of these excuses, bro.
It ain't no excuse. I'm from that. I know that. That's
You can
part of
be
who I
from
am. That's why I can
that
speak on it. You're
I'm
speaking
from
from
it
an
too.
outside perspective, and you're
Dude,
giving
I
an
grew up
opinion.
in it.
And I'm telling you what it is.
Hip hop
I'm telling
started
you
in my
what it
era.
is. And then you
Hip hop started
continue.
in my era,
Oh,
bro.
that's nothing to do with. Like, come on, man. I'm
No,
telling you what it is.
it ain't got nothing to do with it because fathers could have negated all of that.
What you mean, the fathers that got locked up,
I
triple,
don't hear nothing. I don't.
quadruple,
And there it
with the
is.
crack era?
Well,
Those
There it
brothers?
is.
no. But you see what
There it
you
is.
see. The next
What
able.
you mean there it is?
The
Let's talk
next
about it.
able. Wait a minute. The next able black man in the family needs to step up. That's the way it goes down.
So, all right, now, what you just said. Tell me, in your opinion, what happened between the late 70s up to about late 80s? What did black men do to themselves and do to the community where their prison population went up about 700 and something percent? What did black people do to themselves?
Start selling drugs, get caught on track, get locked up, get thrown in jail.
Okay, now,
But
hold on.
also
Now,
that
while
points
that was
to
happening,
that points
while
to the
that was
fathers.
happening, what else was happening economically? What was getting outsourced? And what was being insourced? Talk about that.
Industry was being outsourced. Industry was being
Okay.
pulled out of the communities. Factory jobs being pulled out of the community, and drugs was being pumped into the community.
Now, I'm not saying that the black men who were involved have no responsibility in it, but to solely just point at the community without putting that in
just point at
context
the community
and blaming everything.
Yes.
What you're basically saying is black people culturally are just not competent. We are fucked up people.
No,
What you are
what I'm
talking
saying
about
is
yourself.
black
Can I
men
say
could have
something?
gotten together. Black men could have
like
gotten together, recognized the threat to the community, and they could have got together and defended the community from it. Like they used to do, like they did in the old school.
Before?
Yes.
Black people did that before,
can
right?
I say something?
Yes.
What happened?
Okay.
What do you
And then
mean
what
what
happened?
happened? It was effective.
No. And then what happened to those people? What happened to those leaders?
Nothing.
Oh, wow. All right, go ahead, sister. Go ahead.
You've been brainwashed and you don't want to admit it.
What? Oh, damn, I'm in a red. I guess this is the red. No. Tell me how I'm brainwashed. Tell me how I'm brainwashed.
Because you are holding hip hop music to your chest so fiercely. I haven't
music genre. Music don't make people do shit. I'm from the streets.
I have talked to you. I have spoken with you for an hour. Hold on. I have look. I have actually exchanged pleasantries with you for an hour, and you have never come across as ferocious as you have with this rap music, hip hop music thing. You hold that to your chest. You hold that to your chest. I want to know why. On a scale of 1 to 10, what does hip hop rap music mean to you on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being the greatest
of music.
No, what does it mean to you on a scale of 1 to 10?
Hold on, miss. I can even tell by the way you ask that question that it's a lot that you really don't know about hip hop. I can tell you do.
Deflection.
No, it's not.
Answer the question. You didn't answer the question.
What it means to me, it's a music genre.
On a scale of 1 to 10, the 10 meaning the mostest. What does hip hop rap music mean to you?
The same thing, jazz, blues, and everything.
Okay.
It's a genre of music. What are you saying?
Numbers between 1 and 10 were the answer, and you don't want to answer. It means everything to you.
What kind of
it means everything to you.
Like you're being. This is kind of crazy where this conversation is going.
And I disagree with you about music doesn't.
We're jumping all over the place. We're blaming music for destroying communities. Music?
Yes, because
that's
music.
fucking ridiculous.
Yes, because music is also a strong influence on people. When I was growing up, all our music was about black love. It caused the brothers to seek out love. Hold on, brother. It caused the brothers.
What was happening in the street?
Brother, can I finish,
when that music
please?
was out?
Can I finish? We were surrounded by black love. All the music was about loving a black woman. So that's all we heard, right? So all the brothers wanted to be paired up with women. We was all about seeking out love from black women. We loved black women. We didn't hate black women. We didn't want to. We didn't even want to see black women fight. We wouldn't even let them fight. The music influenced us that way. The Ozzy brothers, all of them sung about love.
I heard that in the household. My family grew up. My family played that shit every day. Now, when you grew up in your era and they talked about love, what was happening in the streets?
A lot of stuff was happening in the streets.
What was happening in the streets? The negative shit.
A lot of shit. Of course, it was always negative stuff in the streets.
Now, okay, boom, you hit it right on the head and you made my point. So even though your music was talking about love, street shit was still going on because that was street stuff.
Yeah, but
and it was
but what wasn't going on?
Issues that had something to do with that.
Right, but what wasn't going on is what you have now. You didn't have this all-out hatred for black women. Men wanted to be hugged up with their women. Nobody wanted to see their women get hurt. Niggas didn't even want to let their women fight. They wouldn't even let women fight, bro.
I would argue that most black men are like that now. Including myself. That's how I think.
And
that's how my
that's why they got their cell phones out. While women are getting beat up.
You come from a different era. You come from a different time.
But we still love our women. We still protect our women. We don't let the
you still love your women. You still protect your women.
I don't let a small percentage that's magnified by somebody else
no
make me view
a
my
small
community
percentage, bro.
A backwards way.
You see, you brothers don't want to wake up, and you know what? And I understand
wake up to what?
Listen. I understand that, right? Because when I first came on social media, I didn't want to believe what I saw either. It's more than a small percentage, bro. We way past a small percentage.
People on here, I know that, but I know my community as a whole, and I know how propaganda works, and I'm not gonna let all that bullshit make me have me mischaracterize my own community. I know we got ignorance and degenerate behavior, but that doesn't reflect the majority of us. And to the point where I mischaracterize cultural things and normal things in my community.
What has hip hop music taught you?
What has it taught you? What has your music taught you? What's your point?
Okay, and we are no longer the majority. We are becoming the minority, brother.
Oh, what's your point to that? What are you saying though?
The point to that is that we're becoming a minority. Brothers like you and I are becoming a minority. These mindless, crazy, unguided, hate-filled, effeminate, they are fastly becoming the majority, and they are multiplying like rabbits.
I can't even argue with that one, though. Can't argue.
We are becoming dinosaurs, brother.
Actually, more like unicorns.
When we're gone, ain't no other men like us coming behind us.
Yeah, I mean, I do fear that where things are going, and yeah.
And listen, I hear what you say. I didn't want to believe it either, bro.
The last of the Mohicans.
I've been married for almost 20 years. I didn't even know what a YouTube was. I've been happy in my marriage. So I've been kind of shielded at what's been. I mean, I got on social media and nearly lost my mind. Like, what the hell is going on here?
I kind of lost my mind too. I was like, wait a minute, what?
Hey, yo,
I ain't want to believe it either.
Yo, pardon me, y'all. I gotta move a couple of more trailers, and I'm gonna be up out of here. And if y'all still on, I'm gonna be right back.
All right, man. Get that money, man.
You got it.
All right. Safe travels. All right.
Good spirited, powerful discussions, man. Great stuff. Love getting into a spirit. And as black people, we have to do that sometime. We have to get after each other. It's love at the end of the day. you know. But you know, we can't sit up here and not face the truth.
Yeah.
I hate to sound like RBR, but you know, we have to face the truth. You know, it's going to be, you know, rough sometimes when we have these conversations, but we got to have them anyway. They're tough conversations to have, but they need to be had.
Yeah.
You know, if we're going to try to fix this thing, we got to face what's really bothering us, what's really hurting us. And right now,
Morality is
uh-huh,
experiencing the last of the Mohicans effect.
yeah.
And
And what
it's
and
frightening.
and what's absolutely devastating us right now is not single motherhood, it's absentee fatherhood. The mothers are doing everything that they can. The mothers are there. You want to say, okay, where's the black woman? In the house with the kids. That's where you'll find her. Where's the black man? Oh, I don't know. I don't know where that nigga at. Ain't no telling where the hell he at. He ain't in the house.
He on only what they call them websites where they showing
Yeah,
themselves.
Tinder. Yeah.
Tinder.
Sending other men topless pics.
Yeah. Hey, as long
I
as
ain't never seen nothing. I ain't never seen nothing like what. I don't even know what kind of black dudes are these. I ain't never seen black men like this.
I have a confession to make that I was floored. I was floored when I came on YouTube, right? I came on YouTube and I said, "Oh, this is a great way to archive all these medical lectures." So I'm archiving these medical lectures and I run across this one guy who I won't say, his name, but people associate me with having that 18-month experience on his panels, right? So I run across the thumbnail, and I listened to him. He was funny, and I entertained viewing his material, and I just decided to type into the chat how hilarious he was. Next thing I know, I'm being invited to a quote unquote panel, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I was assured, because I was saying that I said, I don't know about socializing with people online. I heard that can be quite tricky, to socialize with people online. Oh, you ain't got nothing to worry about with me, was my, that was the reassurance I was given. So next thing I know, I'm caught up with these different personalities on a panel that were opposing one another. But I found my way to try to make peace by singing songs and try to bring some levity to the panel. And they just didn't like it. They was like, wait a minute, have you been drinking? Why are you so cheerful? That type of thing, right? And next thing I know, a situation occurred where the channel holder was announcing how disturbed he was that someone was accusing his son of being a homosexual. And I was like, I had two choices to make, right? I said, okay, this is none of my business on the one hand. And then on the other hand, it's like, well, what type of defender of the United States of America would I be if I didn't conduct an assertion that is wrong? It's morally wrong to interfere with a child's progression in life by tainting them with the digital reputation of being a homosexual when you don't know whether or not they are. So that was the motivation of my campaign. And because I had what can I say? I had the type of personality that can get along with just about anybody. So people interpreted that me and this guy had a rapport, right? So with that rapport, they thought that he and I had some type of romantic intentions toward one another, when all the while I was just on a campaign. It's like, I want to make sure that nobody under the fucking sun talks negative against a child. That child has a right to go forward in their life unscathed with the rumors of online bullying, right? That was my whole thing. And that's why I, just wrestled and lassoed all my talent, skills, and abilities of how I can conduct my personality to emphasize and impact people to realize, like, look, you're not going to get away with just interfering with a child's future. That was my whole thing. Now, as time went on, I don't know this guy from a can of paint, right? I was about the mission. Now, what happened is because I exercised my personality in such a flamboyant way, people associated me with being quote unquote ratchet at the time, right? And I know that I went hard, but I went hard for a child. I didn't go hard for that man. I went hard for a child. I don't want anyone to interfere with a child's opportunity to open-mindedly figure out what they want to do with their future. What Polite did to that girl was he interrupted her opportunity to figure out what she wants to do with her future. He harmed her. He harmed her. He harmed her.
And you know what? He don't even care.
And he doesn't care.
He hasn't even tried to apologize or reach out or nothing. He don't even give a damn what he did to that little girl. She probably will never trust men again. She probably horrified. She probably can't think straight right now. She can't sleep because he forced himself on her. He put his fingers down her throat. He brutalized her. There's no telling what kind of trauma.
He brutalized her.
Right.
And I went hard in the paint for a reputation. So what am I supposed to do with this? What am I supposed to do with this?
This is an act of barbarism against
brutalized her.
Right. This is an act of barbarism against a human being. You understand? That's why I don't have no sympathy for these dudes. I hope they lock them up and throw away the damn key.
Or break it into the lock.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sinetta, all of them could go with them. The whole goddamn conscious community. I haven't heard one dude over there call himself a man, and they got the nerve to be over there talking about the black woman as God. They did not say one thing in defense of that little girl. Not one thing. And it's been going on almost a week now?
A lot of times predators think in the realm of collateral damage. Like, what does your existence mean to me other than how you can satisfy me, how useful you are to me? Me. And forget your emotional trauma. Forget your, how I brutalize you in order to satisfy me. And that is evil. That is so evil. You
know what? I don't think this is his first time. I think it's the first time he got caught. I don't think it's his first time. And I'm willing to bet if he gets locked up.
I can't even imagine what I would be if someone.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
you know what? Hey, you know, listen. I don't think this is his first time. I think it's the first time he got caught. And I'm willing to bet if he gets locked up, those 4 women or wives he got, they're gonna come out and tell it all because they're probably afraid of him.
Yeah. And then one of them he met when she was 16. Right.
Yeah. See, this is why I hate it when older men go after younger women, because older men after younger women is absolutely dangerous because they get to mold their mind. They manipulate and mold their mind.
Yeah, my first husband was 11 years older than myself, and had I not had the instruction of my father to know how I am to be held in esteem, I would have fell for it. Because I would have fell for it,
Max,
he was one of those guys that flipped the script, and had I not known better, I would have fell for it.
What'd you say there, Hassan?
Nah, you connected the dots yesterday with how they operate, because everyone was like, well, why ain't Sadetta really saying anything? And okay, and then he was like, oh, well, he made a lot of money for him. That was his golden goose. You know what I mean? Mr. Pedo. So it's like,
now the
this
goose
is
done
like a
laid an
business
egg.
thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Y'all messing up my money. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Then when he said,
his channel is
then when he
monetized
said,
talking about this
oh,
stuff.
well, he can stick
It
his thing
is.
who he wants to stick it in. That ain't none of my business. I was like, he's done.
Yeah, but you see, that's despicable in itself. But you see, you still got black people going over there supporting them. My whole issue is this here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, if this guy goes to trial, which would be stupid to do it, right? The prosecutor is going to ask him the question that I would ask him. Okay, if the club was closed, why didn't you just simply take her home?
Right.
I want to see him. How he going to get around that question?
He's not.
Why don't you just take her back to her mother?
He's gonna say she said she was hungry.
Man, I'm so sick of these weak ass manipulating snake
That is
dudes.
a weak answer. That's a weak answer,
You know,
but that's what he's gonna say.
Oh,
if he's asked that
you're
question.
absolutely right.
Keep trying to blame the young girls who manipulate men who are nearly 40 years old. But I mean, are we supposed to believe that you got manipulated by a 14-year-old girl and you 38?
I was about to ask you that, Max. Like,
and you're supposed to have all of these scholarly accolades?
Yeah.
I mean, you mentored
She
Meta
wanted
World
to
Peace at
destroy
one point.
my career. I mean,
Exactly.
come on, man.
I mean,
She's
at
14.
one point,
She doesn't know what a career is.
At one point, this guy was the mentor of the Meta World Peace, who's an immature child himself.
Oh wow!
Right.
Oh, whoa!
So I can see why he had a mentor, because he's a 15-year-old trapped in a 30-some-year-old body. So you mentor Meta World Peace. So you're being influenced by a 14-year-old girl, and you wrote 90 books, and you got all these scholarly accolades. Not any real institutions, just street accolades.
Because I'm about to say scholarly from where?
Street scholarship.
He could not have possibly written 90 books.
He said he written 90. I didn't even know he wrote.
I don't think he written one, man. Come on, stop it.
Right.
Anyway, author of 90. But where are these 90 books?
On Amazon.
You know, I mean, he wrote 90. Nigga, you ain't got nothing to say when nobody gonna read 90 books.
Any of his aliases in Amazon under book, what are you gonna find?
I have no idea. I know the guy's a pseudo. I know he's a pseudo intellect. He's a con man. He's a land pirate. He's a sexual deviant. All them guys.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. The whole conscious community is nothing but a con. That's all it is. All they do is study the same thing over and over again and regurgitate the same thing over and over again. It's a show.
That's predatory.
Yeah,
and
it's a con.
Unfortunately, a lot of women are enchanted by men with knowledge that they hadn't heard before. To be honest with you, that is what attracted me to my first husband. He could speak these languages, and I was fascinated with the fact that he could speak, several different languages. And so I just thought he was a upright, upstanding man. As it turns out, he's a flip-flopper. I'm not going to say anything more other than that. I'm going to put it on me. I didn't realize that I was so easily enchanted with the fact that someone knew something that I didn't know, that I wanted to succumb to their whims. I didn't know that was a that I had that propensity. I didn't know at that time that I had the propensity to fall for the I know more than you do effect. That just because he knew more than I did doesn't mean that his intention wasn't to exploit the sanctity of marriage. He exploited the sanctity of marriage, as I had found out later. But in the beginning, I just viewed him as this all-knowing being, because I was young and I didn't know any better.
Well, don't blame yourself too much. A lot of men are experts when it comes down to lying to women. Experts. They will make you think that they're the best men or best man you've ever seen in your life. They will sell you the Brooklyn Bridge.
Disgusting. What's disgusting is that I found out that he didn't know how to type correctly the word AN versus AND. that's when I started getting clued in to like he's perpetuating a fraudulent
Wait a
position
minute, was he
of
foreign?
knowledge. No. He was a veteran just like myself. He was an active duty military member, and he just had the gift of gab. Okay, he knew how to present himself as this all-knowing person compared to myself, and just so happened one day I had noticed as he's typing things that interest him. He didn't know he made multiple grammatical errors. That's what I'm saying. He made multiple grammatical errors. And I pointed out to him, I said, wait a minute, you're supposed to use an before, you're supposed to use an in this particular sentence. And he snapped on me, trying to assert that how dare I say that, how dare I correct him
Big
type of
red
thing.
flag. That's a
That was a
Yeah,
sign
big
right
red
there.
yeah.
That's
flag.
a sign.
He was a trip.
Neon red flag.
He was a
Blinking
trip.
neon red flag.
That was the handwritings on the wall.
Yeah, that was a
And
grenade.
I'm an innocent wife just trying to make sure that he looks good. That's what I was doing. I was like, wait a minute, baby, you're supposed to use an, not and. And he snapped.
It's
He
not your
just
fault,
totally
beloved.
snapped.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
Mm-hmm.
You were sold a bill of goods. That's what I mean by these
To
guys. You
this
sell
day,
women a bill of
to
goods.
this day, I don't look at the word and the same. So imagine what that young girl is going to endure as she gets older.
Does anybody even know her name? We can't find her name. We can't figure out what her real. We've been searching
We'll
for her
talk.
name. Anybody know what her
would
real
they
name
even
is?
release her name like because of her age?
Yeah. I think they're going to protect her identity because of her age.
Well, yeah, of
Yeah.
course they're gonna protect the little girl, but I was looking for the mother. I knew there was
Yeah,
no
we
way they was
can't
gonna have
find the
that little
mother's
girl.
age. Yeah, we can't find the mother's name either.
I thought I might have found it, but I'm not absolutely certain. I can't be positive. That's it. Mhm. Yeah.
All right, people. It's been great, but we got to shut it down. It's late. I know,
Okay.
man. It was a great discussion. It was hot. Bella came up in and set it off.
Yeah, she did. She did.
Bella, where's she at?
She's still there. She's muted.
Okay, she's on mute.
Mhm.
Well, she got a new home here.
Hello?
She welcome here anytime. Yeah, Mel, can you hear us? Can she hear us?
Hello? Yeah, you all. Hello?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
hear
can
you.
hear you.
Oh,
Thanks for
okay.
coming up and
Thank.
setting it off. It was a great discussion.
Mhm.
And hey, you're family now, so you're welcome here anytime you want. All right, it's your other home. All
Mhm.
right,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
okay, Mella. We're a
Yeah.
little different.
Yeah.
We're a little different. We're pro-black woman over here, so when you come over here, ain't nobody gonna be jumping on you, cussing you out, or not
Because you
letting
know
you
why?
talk and all
Because
that.
we'll
We
be
don't do that
jumping
over
on him.
here. Yeah,
I'm gonna jump on him, and my man Truth is gonna
yeah.
jump on him. Beep, beep.
Well, they ain't gonna get past. They ain't gonna get past me. All right, so yeah. They ain't. So we
Yeah.
love it when our sisters come up here and
I'll
express
behave.
themselves.
I'll
Nah, you
behave.
good. You didn't.
As well.
Nah, you.
I
Yeah,
Nah,
you
you
good, Mello.
good.
You
You
didn't do
good.
that.
I
Nah,
hope
you
I
can go ahead
didn't
and
do
speak. This is
anything terrible.
But she's worried
No,
about
no,
the
no,
little bit
no,
of
no.
cussing she did.
nah.
This is
That
just
Yeah,
the
I
would
part.
cussed a
trust me.
little
That
bit.
would not. That would nothing. Trust me.
Compared to what I can do, yeah, you're right.
You ought to hear. You ought to hear
I was.
melanated misfit. Talking about
Oh
shit.
Black and
no. Oh
bougie.
my.
Nah,
Black and
man.
bougie.
Nah. How about Lucy? Boy, Lucy
Oh,
get a
gangster.
Oh no. Well,
boy. Lucy come over there and light
I
it up, man. Uh,
this was
but yeah.
actually
Mhm.
beautiful. So
Yeah,
thank you so much. Thank
I
you.
really appreciate it, and we really appreciated your contribution. Powerful discussion you had there with T. Washington. You
Shout
know,
out.
yeah, man. But hey, Mello, this is your second, well, I don't know, third or fourth home, so you're welcome up here anytime you want. All right,
Mm-hmm.
anytime. All right, y'all, we get ready to shit. Hey, Dan, get that Styles P. All right, let me know when you got
Oh,
that
okay.
Styles P.
Okay.
All right, y'all, we getting ready to shut it down. Thanks for joining us. This has been a broadcast of the Ebony Star Network, sponsored by the E Nation. And listen, on Ladies Night coming up Saturday night. Yeah, Mel, we'd love to have you on Ladies Night too. Are you free Saturday night? Did she bounce off?
Yeah, she
Yeah,
dropped.
she bounced off.
Okay, well next time we'll ask her. All right, y'all. Listen, man, we had a decent show on Ladies Night, but we got to get some more people now. Come on, y'all, let us down on Ladies Night. All right, we need y'all to show up and show out. Come on now, man. Come on now. We the Earth Nation. We black people that care about black people. You know what I'm saying? We about each other. You know, we all each other got, man. We support each other. I got your back, you got my back. We got your back, you got our back. You know, y'all starting to let us down on Ladies Night, man. The numbers was down. Come on now. Let's get them numbers up. All right, I expect to see y'all in full effect Saturday on Ladies Night.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Let's start making Ladies Night pop again. All right, y'all?
And if I could get there, then the rest of y'all could be there too.
Yeah. Come on now. Y'all tapering off. Then you got that Styles P.
Yes, I do.
All right, y'all. Shout out to everybody on the panel. T. Washington, my boy Hassan, Mello. Great discussion with her. First time she's on the panel. Blessed the panel with her presence. Set it off up here. Shout out to Mama Rain, classy Mama Rain coming through as always.
Mm-hmm.
And the ladies in the chat, the ladies of the E Nation, Mika, Yvette, Auntie, all the ladies of the E Nation, and my dudes, Kendall, Briggs, Truth Is, Hassan, my brothers soldiers in arms. Thank y'all for coming through, supporting as always. We want to say peace, power, and unity, and we're going to go out on a high note. Dame, drop it. Let's get high on the way out of here.
Hey yo, I smoke like a chimney. Matter of fact, I smoke like a gun. When a killer sees his enemy, I smoke like Bob Marley did. That I smoke like the hippie did back in the 70s. Spit with the finishing touch. Get this, that I'ma finish you before I finish the Dutch. I get high like the birds in the plains. I get high when bullets hit faces after words exchange. I get a rush off the blood on the walls. You understand like the M5 pedal when you touching the floor. I get high cause fuck it, what's better to do? And I'ma never give a fuck cause I'm better than you. Every day. Every night. Every day. Every night. All the time. things like I see things. I'm a dino. Motherfucker, understand it's full service to you. I don't smoke the weed if it ain't purple or blue. And you can name any rapper if you want, he could die. This is SP dumping in you, bitch. I get high. Every night, all the time.